that. We all want those things. We all want security for our family. We all want, to have nice things. But then there gets in your life, hopefully, where you have all those things. And, you have the car and you have the house and, you have reasonable security, and you start to realize that it's about more than that. You realize that really it's not about me and my little group. It's kind of about all of us in our big group. And so, I started off doing this, and that's a really long story I won't get into, but I got to that point in my life where it's like, well, making money's great, but what else is there? What's next? And so I actually was at church, and came and spoke, and she was the director of a global company that works in human trafficking. And she shared her story. She was walking through an airport in Germany, and there was a sign that, something about human trafficking, and she said, wow, that's too bad. Somebody should really do something about that. And she felt really convicted and said, well, crap, why not me? And so when she shared that, my wife and I both just kind of looked at each other and said, ooh, it really hit us. So, we started our own nonprofit, and it still runs to this day, and we've done a lot of good with it. But I'll tell you, it's actually almost a little bit selfish, because, the feeling that you get from helping people, on a regular basis is, it's better than money. It's better than, really better than anything else. So, when I get up in the morning, yes, I'm getting up for me. I'm getting up for my family, and it's awesome. But, I can also say, that in all likelihood, and guys, I hope nobody's thinking I'm being dramatic here. I'm talking from my heart. I hope it's coming through to everybody. When I go to bed tonight, there, in all likelihood, I have helped a child, either get free from slavery, or a child who was in it. I've helped them get food or an education. Every night when I go to bed, I know that, somewhere in the world outside of my little house, someone's life is better because of what I'm doing. And when you have that, it's just powerful. I can't wait to get out of bed every morning. I mean, my eyes open, and it's just boom, I'm just up. I can't wait to get out and go do something. And there's just so many good causes. There's so many things to fight for. There's so many people to fight for. Life's too short to just, be focused on me and mine. And I'll tell you, the last little thing, there's a correlation there, and I don't want to go into it into deep, but I'll tell you, the more I give, the more I've gotten back. And I mean, in all ways, not just a good feeling, but my income has grown, everything has grown, and I don't think there's that's a coincidence. So again, don't want to get too deep on one of these or whatever, but I would remind everyone, something that someone wiser than me once said, that it's impossible to help someone else without helping yourself. You get back, you tend to get back what you send out. So my why, of course, is starts with me and my family, but it extends out. And so that's the short version of my little why.
Mm-hmm. Very, very, very.
Hey, I made it through. I made it through.
Yeah, you did, man. You did.
My voice didn't crack or anything, I don't think. I think I made it straight through.
Yeah, definitely. And it's always inspirational to hear why people do what they do, especially when you see people, help people as much as you do, and that enjoy seeing other people succeed. It takes a rare heart to want to watch other people do well. There's so much selfishness out in the world that giving a little back just always goes a long way. And thank God for people like you in it. And
I appreciate it, but this specific charity, guys, just so you know too, I've mentioned on here before that I'm actually a professional counselor. Also, I'm an actual real licensed counselor, and I work a lot with veterans because I am a veteran, but I also work with human trafficking victims. So for me, it goes beyond just there's a nameless face. I actually have heard the stories. I have been there with people who have been affected by this. So, when I see a dollar go out of my pocket, I know where that dollar is going. and then my thought is, man, I need to do $2 a day or $3 a day or $4 a day or whatever it is. I just need to do more and more and more. And that's why, one of the reasons that I wanted to share this on here, because, everyone here just has the opportunity to make such a big difference. People here have means. They're, this is not a normal group of people that we have here.
No,
This is an elite group of people.
Right. Stephen, could you go into just a little bit more? How did you become to get so passionate about human trafficking? What sort of woke you up about that to make you just want to try to fight it?
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things. I'd heard about it before, and the lady, like I said, spoke at my church, and me and my wife, as soon as we heard that, we both looked at each other and said, we're going to do something. But then, when I, started to learn about it, and I started to understand the scope and the magnitude, that things that are happening, and not just people. Everybody thinks of human trafficking as sex trafficking, which that is a big part of it. But here in Texas, where I live, it's actually the work trafficking is actually bigger than sex trafficking in Texas, because Mexico is so close. So these are what people think of as slaves. If I say the word slave and you think of something that happened 400 years ago in some, land far, far away, that's not a reality. There's a lot of people today who, come from poor countries, and, they're told that, hey, you're gonna go to this place, and, you're gonna get a job, and, what happens is, a lot of times they become, what we call an indentured servant, which means that, they agree to pay a certain amount of money for their, quote, freedom, but what happens is they never are able to work that money off because they keep getting charged for more things. So, in effect, they're slaves. It's a never-ending cycle, and you're in a foreign country now. You don't speak the language. You're afraid of getting arrested, and of course, they're going to tell you, they're going to tell you that if you go to the police, that the police are going to kill you, and it's just crazy. But and then when I did an internship with a place here in Dallas that specializes in human trafficking, and I got to sit across from and talk to people who'd been through it, even with a translator, because a lot of them, English wasn't their first language. A lot of it, and I'm a combat veteran. I've seen some ugly stuff. I've seen horrible things that I wouldn't even talk about in a webinar. But listening to some of the things that were coming out of some of these children's mouths, just, man. So when you hear something like that, and then you fail to act, I don't even think a normal person could do that at that point. And the amount that you choose to act, is going to be different for each person. But I don't think any person could see that, hear that, and not take action. I don't think there's anything unique or special about me in that aspect. I think that these things just came into my realm of knowledge, and so we do other things as well, but human trafficking is pretty much the main thing. And and a lot of people don't realize too, here in this country, there's quite a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a bit of it. And again, I'm not going to go into it because it's gory. But
Sure.
if it's one of those things that the news doesn't report because people don't want to hear it. If people knew what was actually happening as frequently as it was happening, people would be angry, and things would, people would, do things that they don't want you to do. So.
Sure. Well, Stephen, I appreciate you opening up, sharing that with us. That's some pretty powerful stuff, and you're right. But you know what? Not everyone would take the necessary steps to do what you did. Some people just look away. Sometimes, just ignoring the problem is easiest for some people. And I commend you for not. You've seen something that you wanted to make a difference with, and you did, and that's like not a lot of people. So.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't know. There's a famous quote, and I don't remember who said it first, but the only thing necessary for the perpetuation of evil is for good people to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true throughout history, and I can't be one of those people. I don't, and I have two little girls too. I'm sure that has something to do with it. I want to be completely transparent. I've got two beautiful little girls here, and the thought of some of the things that I've heard come out of other beautiful little girls' mouths happening to my children, frankly, makes me want to go Hulk and just crazy. So I'm not going to go Hulk and go crazy, but what I am going to do is I'm going to, do use my best weapon, which is money. That's my best weapon that I have right now, and use my income to support people who are making a difference.
Sure.
Money by
Guys,
proxy.
yeah, definitely, man. And it's very, very, very touching and a great cause. Guys, it's not easy to talk about emotional stuff like this. And so if you could take the moment, go on the Facebook thread, just put in a hashtag thanks for sharing. Just let Stephen know that that it means a lot to you, for him, making everyone aware of this. And, maybe it's something that you found that you might be passionate about from listening to him speak. I mean, there is some horrifying stuff going on out there. And, I really wasn't aware of it until he kind of brought it to my attention. I started looking into it last week, and, it makes me want to, buy a couple tanks and some other stuff and go find these people and just go to town. Seriously. I
You
mean,
know, it's funny. It's funny
yeah.
you said that. Um, one of the charities I actually support, they operate in countries not inside the U.S. and this is actually the one I support the most. They actually hire off-duty police and military in countries to literally go kick down doors and save people. I mean, like I've seen the pictures.
It's
So,
amazing.
and there's like a cost sheet they'll say, $100 by two soldiers for 4 hours, and they're equipped. I mean, it's almost like a video game. I hate to say that,
Hmm.
but when you spend your money there, they'll tell you exactly what you're getting. So if you give, for every $100, we get two soldiers, with this and that or whatever, or three policemen or whatever, and then when you see what the yield is, you save three people or 10 people or 30 people, then you kind of got to go, wow, where do I scrape together another $100?
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty powerful stuff. So definitely, guys, make like sure that if you haven't, we have close to 400 people on the webinar. I would love for people to make sure that you do a hashtag thanks for sharing. What we did was is the only reason that we got Steven to come back, we got Fletch to come on, for everyone's kindness last week of participating in everything, showing everyone how much the webinar meant to them, showing how much that you learned from it. So please, take the time to let them know that. But what we're going to do is we're going to move over to one of my good friends, Fletch. I've had a chance to get to know him very well. For the few days I got to spend with him at OMG Live, I considered him my brother, and then just got back from spending about 8 days with him over in Phoenix, and just an amazing individual and always an inspiration. And I can tell you that, Mike and I kind of laugh, that we always say that, that even though that we help people and we care about people so much that we're probably the last people to cry, because we're so ice cold. And then there's someone like Fletch, who's just got a heart of gold, wears his heart on his sleeve, and has literally helped. He's helped me in so many ways. Um, he was my mentor along with Greg, and without him and Greg, I don't know where I would have been. And then what Fletch also showed me was it's okay to be emotional, to open up, to actually care, and to even show people how much you care. And what an amazing individual that he is, and the chance that we have him in OMG. I've learned from him all the time and what he does. So I've asked him to join us in this webinar because I wanted Fletch to talk about, what his why was. How difficult was it to get to his why? Just to even make it happen and to kind of share that with us. And I like think that, when Fletch kind of tells you everything that he had to do, that it's really going to inspire you and make you ask yourself, am I doing enough? Really? I mean, am I really working this hard? Am I taking any chances? So, Fletch, I'm going to turn it over to you, man. And I would love to hear your story about how difficult your why is and how hard it was to get to, and actually what it is.
Yeah, so it's about 2.5 years ago now. I'm climbing around in an attic on rafters, on my hands and knees, and there's insulation and rat shit and dust, and I'll be a lot less politically correct than maybe previous people have, but it's real. And when it's 145 degrees and you're sweating, your pores are open, and you're breathing in all this kind of shit, I don't know, it's pretty damn raw. And so I'm climbing in this attic, and I get a phone call from my wife, and I was kind of excited because about a month earlier I'd gotten a phone call from her that that let me know I was going to be a dad for the first time, and I was super excited, and I really, it was something I wanted my entire life. And so I phone call, and I prop myself up on my elbow, and I'm trying to reach in my back pocket with my phone out, and it's Natalie, and so I'm excited, and I answer the phone, and she's like, "Hey, honey, how you doing?" And the only thing I can reply is I'm hot and sweaty and tired, and I just want to come home. She's like, I know that job you're on isn't fun, but when are you going to be done? Are you going to get paid today? Is it just a one-day job, or what's the situation? I said, no, it's going to be a few days before I get a paycheck on this thing. What's up? And she said, well, I know we're going to be okay. I love you. You're amazing, and we're going to turn our lives around. But utility company just came and turned our water off, and I know you're going to figure this out, but Matea's at school right now. This is our daughter, and you should probably think about what you're going to tell her when she gets home, because she won't be able to take a shower or flush the toilet for a few days. And for me, as a 38-year-old man, I'd never been married. I hadn't really been in a position of responsibility in that way before. It was kind of just this wake-up call that there are things in life way more important than myself, and then wanted to make myself comfortable. Cotton's great at talking about kind of these three big motivators that people have in their lives of comfort, pain, and pleasure. And unfortunately, this comfort thing is what so many people in the U.S. have just become accustomed to and let drive their lives. And there was a lot that went into me getting to that place, but and it'll come out. I actually have been writing, and may either have a book or a screenplay somewhere in the near future ready. But nonetheless, I got to a place that I was at a crossroads, and I had to figure out who I was going to be, for myself, for my kids, for my wife, for my parents. And I said, well, okay, I climbed down, and I got in my 1972 International Travelall. It's orange, beat up, gets 11 miles a gallon, and I literally was, I got long hair and a beard, and I'm sweating, and I'm just, as a man, the first thing you go to is anger. It's like it's the world's fault. I wasn't set up to do well in the situation that we have currently, and fortunately it shifted quickly to a position of responsibility, and saying that regardless of what I think about all this other stuff that put me in this situation, I really am responsible for where I am, and most especially am responsible for what I do from here on out. So, I went home and, figured out a way to talk to Matea about that situation, and went to the internet at a construction company, and really the one thing I knew I needed to do was to bring more money in. And for me, that meant I needed to have more customers, and I didn't know how to get that really. I understood people, and the people I actually talked to they were on my team. They were fans, and they had a great experience with me, and I made money, but there just weren't many of them. And I started poking around, and I did searches on Google, and thankfully I even know what I typed in. but what popped up was a webinar with Mike Long talking about SEO. And so, you know, that was a weird opportunity for me to really, you know, reflect on what I was capable of learning, of using, and decide what I would spend my time and, you know, the few dollars I did have on learning so that I could change my life. And, you know, it brought me here. It brought me to OMG. It was a situation that within a couple months I was able to kind of get us, you know, turned around and start to put more money in our pocket every month than we were having to pay out. It took a long time to get out of the hole I was in. You know, it was 6 figures in debt with my business and another 6 to the IRS. And, you know, it's hard when you think you're making money and it's still all going out just to get you out of the predicament that you've been in. But, you know, at the same time, what I do, you know, when I was going through all that, I was very aware that whatever Mike and Greg had done to get that video ranked was what changed my life, and what would allow me to get in position to be able to work with the rest of OMG and my clients to potentially change even more lives. And, you know, that's been my theme. That is my place within OMG, is to remind people the tremendous opportunity, responsibility, and power that we have to be able to affect SERPs and to offer somebody who's in this, you know, potentially dark place a solution that works. You know, it's not ranking some stupid offer that is empty, that doesn't work, that is going to pay us a commission if we're in any position to not be desperate and need to take money. You know, if you're in a bad place, I get it. You know, I promoted products and companies that are not necessarily the best, but very quickly you have to decide and understand that we're at the crux of changing the way the world develops. You know, every person who has a problem goes to Google to ask what is the solution to that, and we determine that as SEOs. That's where we are. And for me, that's why I do this. As I've talked to Cotton and Stephen to a degree at OMG Live, you know, SEO for me is a means to an end. It's the fuel I use to make sure that the good stuff I know needs to come into people's lives gets there. I make sure that good offers win. Google is notoriously bad at picking good companies. I am the person who makes up the difference. I find good companies, I make sure they win. That's what I do as an SEO consultant. And that's what I want everybody else here to do, to take it as a responsibility to not only be the best, but to promote the best companies. And in that way, we can all shape what comes to pass. You know, and Cotton and Steve and Derek, everybody here is on that mission. And I just chose to, you know, really bare my soul and talk about it openly, because it is one of the things that makes OMG truly different, not only in our ability and our skill set, but in the reason that we do this, and in understanding how important and how impactful it is. It is the most important thing I can think any of us can do. You can learn a skill in 6 months that can truly change the life of not only just, you know, 1 or 2 people, but it can create an entire movement. And, you know, whether you choose to do it through ranking or a combination of ranking and supporting some kind of charity or cause, it's very important. It's what makes us all wake up early and stay up late. It lets us go to bed feeling fulfilled, and also, you know, at the same time, conflicted in how much we can do and how much we can share. So, you know, on that note, I don't try to hold anything back. You know, I've not even been close to perfect in my life, but for whatever reason, when I did wake up to this cause, this challenge, this opportunity, it's very hard to forget about it. It's very hard to unlearn, and it's very hard to ignore your responsibility for doing everything you can with your skills, with what you care about, with what you know, And as painful and hard as it is sometimes, there's no place in the world I'd rather be. So, yeah, anything anybody'd like to talk about on that front, I'd love to discuss it.
Sure. Thank you for sharing that, Fletch. That was an amazing story. Guys, if you were moved by what Fletch had to say, or if anything that he said even kind of struck a nerve with you, just give me a hashtag, Fletch. And, you know, he didn't have to be as honest as he was, but we have over 400 people on here right now. Just give hashtag Fletch. I mean, it's hard to come up here and speak from the heart. And you know, Fletch is one of these people that have really impacted my life more than a lot of people have ever. You know, seeing how he cares so much about what he's doing. And if you listen to why he's doing it, you know, it's amazing. You know, if you asked Fletch what he does, you know, he says, I tell stories for a living. I'm going to help other businesses get their story out. And that's how simple he's got it, but it's also powerful. You know, if you've got, and that's what I've learned from Fletch, if you've got a story, you're going to move people. You're going to sell products. If you're sincere, if you care, all those other things. So guys, please let him know that, you know, that you listen to what he says, and it's, you know, because Fletch is always super, super, super powerful when he like talks, and just always has a tremendous amount of wealth to add to that. And as you can see, Fletch, all these things are rolling in. This thing doesn't update it, but they're like flying in, as you can see
Yeah, man.
from like this over here.
I'm
So
seeing that. Thank you all for sharing. It's one of those situations. I had no idea. On my office hours this last Sunday, people were like, "Oh man, you're so good at this stuff." God, you and I mean, we've talked about it. It's like every time we get ready to go live,
mhm.
I'm nervous as shit.
Yeah.
I I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Hmm.
I hope I can deliver value. There's times I want. It's like, how did I get here, and what qualifies me to be able to talk about this stuff? But um, as much as anything, I want people to understand that nobody is going to come and tell you that you're a leader, that you're somebody that really has a lot to give. You're lucky if you get one or two people like that in your life. I had great parents, and I've been lucky to have a couple mentors that told me that. But for the most part, you have to decide that yourself. You have to get very good at what you can deliver as far as the skills and value you can provide to people. And then you just have to decide that my mission here is to live as big and to give as much as I can. And uh, it's a personal decision, that you just have to step into. And anybody that's running, my city SEO or anything else, you've got to really truly believe that your job, your identity is tied to how much you can give, how much you can contribute to, moving the world in the right direction. So that's the reason I share all that, and I appreciate the opportunity to do so anytime I can.
Great, Fletch. It's always amazing to hear from you. You always inspire a lot of people, and the comments are keep flowing in. So I guess we like have the difficult part, which is to talk about my why. And it's a little difficult. My whole life, I was told how great I was if I put my potential into it. Heard it from grade school. Cotton, you can be great if you ever tried. Heard that everywhere. If I ever put in the effort, that I could be someone. And guess I got tired of just eking by, doing the bare minimum just to exist, putting the bare minimum into a relationship, putting the bare minimum into work, putting the bare minimum into anything. And it all comes down to what Fletch just mentioned earlier. It's just there's these three pillars. There's comfort, pain, and pleasure. And I stayed in that comfort for so long that I almost became a joke. That to have my dad sit there and go, Cotton, what are you going to do with your life? what are you going to do with your life? Now, I'd had success before, and a lot of people don't know this about me, but I am responsible for about $500 million of nonprofit marketing. Uh, some of my consulting stuff went into helping charities, from Make-A-Wish Foundation to Red Cross to other people. They still use my scripts today. But what I found was just dark. I wanted to do that because I really wanted to help people. But when I found that the marketing agencies only had to give back 2% and where the money was going, it just made me feel worse. Then I found out that my grandmother, uh, you know, I knew that she wasn't going to have very long to live. So I decided that I would shut down. It was my excuse of being comfortable yet again, but yet noble and taking care of her. And I ended up losing my grandmother. And the very last thing that she told me was, I worry about you. And that really, really, really woke me up. Those were her last words. So I was tired of just eking by like so many of us do. So I decided that I was going to find something to change my life and to put everything and all my energy into it. I've been comfortable for way too long. That's when I started digging. Then I would try a little bit, then I would give up. My own girlfriend at the time, she would look at me and she would tell me, you promised me that you were going to be this person. What happened? Where is it? And that hurts. It hurts. So my why was literally stopping to exist. My why was stopping comfortability. My why was breaking out of everything, because I see the same thing going on in OMG. I see people asking questions that they should have dug out the answers themselves. One of the things that I'm so proud of when I found OMG is that I never asked one question. You can ask Greg, you can ask Fletch, you can ask anybody. I found all the answers myself. But when my grandmother told me, I worry about you, and those were the last words out of her mouth, it told me that I was a waste of a human, that I've wasted my life away. So I put together every amount of talent that I had, and I put it into OMG. And I said, I will never, ever, ever look back. I will never get lazy. I will continue to push, and I will continue to always be uncomfortable. And these webinars, guys, they're not easy. They're uncomfortable. I've never had this sort of format before. But what it shows me to do is I wanted to make everyone right that told me this from grade school. You can be great if you apply. Cotton, I believe in you. You can be great. And guys, you said it before. And we've all chosen a road that's very dark. When you tell people that you're going to do online marketing, you have everyone that's telling you that you're crazy, that that you're just not, you just need to go get a job. That's what my dad told me. Go get a job. You feel not a lot of people believing in you. Your friends start to snicker, talk behind your back. Your family does. But you want to know what? Here's what success is. Success is pushing through all that, getting through the breakthroughs. And I've been so happy to see some of these people posting this in OMG, saying, you know what? I realized the real problem was me. When I see someone in other groups, not in OMG, but I'm involved in a couple other groups, say, I know that I should be out selling, but I just don't want to. Well, then you don't want it bad enough. When you hear stories about, Colonel Sanders trying to push the KFC recipe, when you hear about how Nike got founded, when you hear about all the work that people had to go through, it's funny that people always say, "Hey, Cotton, why don't you share with me everything that you know right now?" But what you don't know is what I had to do to get it. I've cried myself to sleep many nights, alone, alone. I've still stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning, going to bed exhausted, waking up early doing this to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Because if I'm not breaking these boundaries, I don't see anyone else chasing me. I have to keep pushing it. So my why was, I don't want to let down Mike. I don't want to let down David. I don't want to let down Greg, Fletch, Joe, Jimmy, Steven, Derek. I don't want to let these guys down. If I'm not out there pushing and showing what is possible, I've let down a whole community. And that's the burden that I have right now, but I like it. It keeps me going. So guys, I implore you, if you're not fired up and if you're not willing to do whatever it takes, if you're not willing to work on the weekends, if you're not willing to wake up early, if you're not willing to just give up social events and do other stuff to get to your $10,000, $20,000 a month, if you're not willing to go through all of the videos in OMG before you get lazy and ask a question in OMG, where are videos at? You know where I found where the videos were at? I looked for them. I earned it. I can tell you where everything's at right now. I didn't tell people, "Hey, Cotton, you went ahead and took the test. Why don't you go ahead and tell me all the questions that are on it for the analytics exam?" I get these sort of personal messages. I get personal messages of people feeling entitled that because I'm successful that I should give them an hour of my time when they haven't even watched all, not even 15 videos in OMG. Just, "Hey, Cotton, I want to know if you have an hour of your time so you can give me the cliff notes." What? That's the problem. If you want to know where all the people are not having success right now, you have all of the information that you need. But are you digging in as hard as you need to be? Don't be like me 2 years ago. Some waste. Someone that people would look at and say, "Damn, he had a lot of potential. What a waste. What a waste." If you want that to be you, keep doing what you're doing. You know that old saying, keep on doing what you're doing, you keep on getting what you're getting. And until you wake up and realize that no one is going to teach you SEO, no one is going to make you get up and get in your car and go find clients, no one is going to stand in front of the mirror and come up with all these rebuttals like I do. Guys, how do you think I come up with these rebuttals? How do you think I come up with all these client getting ideas? Because I'm relentlessly doing it over and over and over and over till I'm sick. And I'm going to keep doing it because that's what success is. No one's winning the lottery here. It's not how I got my money. So there's a reason, and I'll address it right now. If you've noticed, I never talk about SEO on webinars because no one needs to know what I know. You don't deserve it. You have enough information in OMG. If you want to know how I can take all the number one rankings, I like talk to Steven, Fletch, Derek, Jimmy, all of us. We don't tell everyone what we know because you haven't earned it yet. And you go, "Well, wait a minute, I paid $7,000 or $5,000 to get it." That's the shortcut. So did I. I paid the same amount of money as well. How did I get all the information? I researched and developed. Guys, there are people, basketball coaches, football coaches, everyone. There's a reason there's a training camp. There's a reason teams practice all week long to become champions. They're consistently in the trenches over and over, day after day, studying their skill, becoming better and better and better. And that's all I hear Stephen Floyd doing Every time, that's why you see him post something in OMG. Every time Fletch is texting me that he's found something. Every time Derek is texting me, oh my God, I found the next thing, because these guys are in the trenches practicing, doing it every day, nonstop, like if their life depends on it. And that's why you have the answers that you do. But I'm just telling you, don't wait on us. Find your own answers. It'll make you feel better. But what I encourage you is I love helping people. It warms my heart to see people succeed. But I don't want to help anyone that hasn't put in the work. You'll never get all the information from me until I see that you've put in the work yourself. If you think you're going to come to me and I'm going to give you the cliff notes or the shortcuts, if you think you're going to come to Derek or Steven or Jimmy or Greg or anyone, and we're just going to hand over all of our years worth of work just because you asked for it, and then you're naive. But when I see someone struggling, when I see someone that needs some help, I've went out of my way and I've told them some things that I would rarely ever share with people, because I see that they're trying so hard. I see that they're up late. I see that they're struggling. And I see that they're doing whatever it takes to make it work. These are the people that I want to help. The other people that are looking for handouts or that are part-timers, we have courses for that. We have our webinars for that. But guys, now's the time to wake up. What are you going to do? Like, if you can't take this money with you, but you know what? At least if I died today, I know that I'd have a few people saying that I helped them somehow. Couldn't say that before. That's what's made everything worth it to me. So if you wanted to know my why, that's my why. So find your why. Find out why you're here. Find out why you're not pushing. Find out what's more important. That you get to watch the basketball game, or that you should be studying SEO? That you want to go to the movies, or that you want to put up another PBN? Find out what's more important to you, because you know what? I've reached the point right now to where I don't have to work as hard, but I still do. So if you're not working as hard as you can, shame on you. It's no one's fault but yourself, because you've spent the money, you're wasting it. All the information is right there in OMG. The same information that helped Fletch. Fletch had the worst information of all of us. The worst. And what I mean by the worst is he had the most limited information. There was no Fletch to teach Fletch. I didn't, I had Fletch and Greg. You right now have Derek, Fletch, Steven, me. You've got Jimmy, Sue, Russell, Joe. I mean, you've got Travis Sago now. You've got all these other people. I mean, we're running on all cylinders right now. The excuse just really isn't almost there for you to succeed. If you think that we're going to whisper some magic potion to you that's going to help you blow your income up, or something that's push button, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not going to be that way. So I encourage you, please work hard. Watch all the videos in OMG. And that's it. Even though I know I'm hosting the webinar, I don't have anyone to throw it off to like I normally do with Mike.
Hey, Cotton.
Yeah.
Thanks. Hey, thanks for sharing. Hey, guys, if you were moved by what Cotton said, let's go ahead and give him a hashtag. Let's give him a hashtag. Thanks, Cotton. That was a lot. And guys, I want to add what Cotton said. I have a different group. I have a course, and I can see how many I can see who's watched my videos and how long they've spent, right? And like Cotton saying, if you haven't watched my training and you start blowing up my private message, I'm just not going to be there for you. You've got to do that, because before I came into OMG, I was ranking just fine, all by myself. But you know what? I've gone through and watched every single video at least once. Most of them probably close to twice by now at least. And so what Cotton is saying, don't take it as harsh. What he's saying is that if your first instinct is to reach out to someone, think that, if there's something, is there something more I can do? Is there something more that, somewhere I can go or something I can do? Because I'll tell you, if the only thing that you have available is OMG, you have everything you need to be successful in SEO and in I think every possible way that you can make money. So, if you think that you're missing the secret, you're not. The secret's in the training. The secret's in watching Greg's videos and using information and taking Cotton's client, getting techniques. If Cotton were to hand over the keys to his SEO machine, I want to use a metaphor, so I think hopefully some of you who are not getting this will understand it. If Cotton, was a Formula One, if his SEO was a Formula One race car, and you see, Mario Andretti, Jr., drive around and tearing it up, if you jumped in that same car and tried to drive it, you'd kill yourself. And the reason why is because you didn't put in the time, you didn't put in the work. And there's no reward without work. But if I had a son or daughter who was turning 18 and they wanted to follow in their dad's footsteps, they'd be saving up $7K right now, is what they'd be doing, because this is the best training in the world. And what Fletch said was true too. What Fletch said about us kind of painting the results, he just kind of glossed over it. I don't know if y'all even caught that, how powerful that was, what he said. But you really actually kind of have the power to determine, who wins and who loses in a lot of ways. And that's a tremendous responsibility and a tremendous privilege. So,
sure.
Guys.
Fletch, you have anything you'd like to add to that, buddy?
Honestly, just it truly is an honor to be here. The outpouring of support for really being open and sharing this way is amazing. It's incredible what we have here within this group, and even beyond that, it's what everybody bought to get here was an opportunity. If anybody's paid for their own education, they don't teach you solutions. They teach you what the problems are. OMG is actually one of the few places I've ever learned solutions to the problems that exist in society. Higher education does not do that. The rest of the things that are sold on the internet do not teach you, full, kind of turnkey solutions to what you want to do. Everything you need to know is within OMG, and it's kind of one of those things where Cotton feels it, I feel it, I'm sure Stephen feels it. We want to help everybody that is all in. It's about being all in.
Amen.
Cotton, I'm sure you've experienced this, off and on with your career. But when you are in that place where you are willing to take risks with not only your own life, but the people who depend on you and care about you, it's very hard to relate to folks who are not putting everything they have into something. I do not have friends anymore that are employees. I can't relate to them. I can't relate to somebody saying, my decision is to put my responsibility for a good life in someone else's hands. You still have missed the point that it was your decision. You have to take responsibility for changing things yourself and for making your life what you want it to be. And I love the fact that almost all my best friends are OMGers right now. They're the people I relate to. They're the people that are changing the world, that are contributing the most. And I want everybody on this webinar to join that club of saying, I am responsible for changing things. The resources are right here. I've already paid for them. The people are right here. They are already wanting to help. And now I truly just get to make that full, all-in decision. You push all the chips in the middle of the table and say, this is it. This is what I'm going to do to not only change my life, but to change the world in the way I care about. So that's honestly why I wanted to come on tonight. That's what this is about. This is about pushing all your chips on the table and saying, this is everything to me. I am going to make this work. I'm going to win this hand. So,
Guys, if you've been moved by anything that all three of us that just said, just give #ready. We're not even going to make up anything good. You're ready to make a change. You're ready to start taking stuff seriously. I mean, guys, you should be fired up right now. Seriously. We have almost 400 people on here. I'd love to see 300 of these that you're ready. You're ready to stop eking by. You're ready to stop making excuses. You're ready that tomorrow, you'll get it done tomorrow. It'll be a better day next week. I'll try to go to that meeting next week instead of making one happen today. You know, I'll make these phone calls tomorrow. I'll study SEO tomorrow. Let me watch this TV show tonight. Guys, you got to get your priorities lined up and you got to have a schedule. And Fletch, I know that you and Steven will even agree with this. If you don't sit down and have a map of what you're doing, it's like getting in a car and driving across country and hoping that you end up in the right place. Well, I think I'll do a little bit of this today, and I think I'll do a little bit of that. Have a schedule. Get mapped out exactly what you need to be doing, how many phone calls you need to be making, exactly how long you're going to be spending getting clients, exactly how long you're going to be spending doing SEO, exactly how long you're going to be spending doing everything, and stick to it unless something happens. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get distracted. So I'll continue to hope that we're getting everyone with these #readies on here, because man, guys, if you can't get fired up with what's been said tonight, you'll never get fired up. It's just chances are you're meant to be that person, and we need these people. They're amazing people that clean our houses, that that run the 7-Elevens. They're good people, man, and we need them. I mean, I don't want to do it. I mean, but I certainly like to get my gas. I certainly like to get my house cleaned and my pool cleaned and other stuff. I mean, maybe that's not you. So, but that's what happens when you want to take a job to where you don't have to think. And I'm not saying that there's no thought into it, but just if you really want to be different, if you want to be that person that's in the top 5% of income, you got to pay for it. It's not free. You can't buy into it. You can't buy into it. You got to go through everything. And guys, if you haven't watched all the videos in OMG, you really need to. You get a different perspective on everything, especially law of implication and everything else. You know, what I want to do is, because David does these guys, if like you've listened to law of implication and if it's helped you, can you give me a hashtag LOI? Give me a hashtag LOI. If that's helped you, so I can show this to David. David spends a lot of time, and guys, I don't know if a lot of you know this or not, but David says that OMG is a entry-level company to move law of implication. It's crazy. It's like if like this is the entry-level company, I would hate to see what law of implication is going to be. It's just amazing. So, I would love to be able to show this to David. He doesn't get a chance to come on a lot of these. He's literally in his lab 6 to 15 hours a day doing law of implication, trying to map out all this stuff. And it's just amazing. He keeps producing more and more amazing stuff. Fletch, I know that you've been greatly affected by the law of implication stuff yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You were at last, OMG Live,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had a chance to kind of talk at, the opening night on each of the, first two events that we held, and honestly, this entire last, opening, I guess, speech or whatever you want to call it, was based on stuff that I've learned from law of implication and how that applies to my journey within OMG, to my understanding of business and life, and some simple things that you can take away. It's a whole philosophy. It's an operating system for your brain when you get to make conscious decisions how you should do that. But there are some simple takeaways that you don't have to completely change every belief to benefit from. And there's a lot of people who just are like, oh no, that's not the thing that I need to change. Quite frankly, it's the whole, you got to change what you're doing to change what you're getting. LOI is a way to do that fundamentally, not only just with SEO or online marketing, but with the results you get in your relationships, with your health, with whatever else it might be. Not, continuing to believe things that are not true. It's huge. It's saved me so much time, effort, and heartbreak since I started this, to know that when I make a decision, it's right, and I don't have to continue to rethink whether or not what I'm doing is kind of the highest and best use of my time. It's absolutely huge, and I continue to recommend people that come on my office hours that they should spend time there. But I try to lead by example, and there's not a week that goes by that I don't spend 2 to 5 hours at least working on that stuff, so that not only I can teach it to OMGers, but I can embody it and use it to improve my own life. It's huge.
Fantastic. And totally agree with you. Guys, what we're going to do is now is, it's almost feels like we've got a full webinar already. We haven't even started what you're all here for. And last week, guys, we started off talking about the amazing discovery that we would be able to provide nonprofit organizations $10,000 every month. And what we're going to do is Stephen has put together a tremendous amount of information for us. And I'm just going to kind of turn it over to him, let him talk a little bit more about it, and just go forward from there. Stephen, do you need the screen or anything? Or
Yeah, let me take that in just a minute. Hold on to it for
Sure.
just a second.
Sure.
And just real quick before we go on, and guys, I'm not going to blow you up with hashtags tonight, I absolutely promise, but do me a favor, everybody that's here, give me a 1 if you feel like you've reached your potential. Give me a 1 if you feel like you've reached your potential, you're at the top, you're the very best you can be. Wow, I actually got 1. Very cool. The 1 person that gave me a 1, you might not benefit from the next 2 hours of training. Maybe you can go watch Avengers or something. I don't know. But for the rest of us, I'm going to say we're here because we're not there, and I'm certainly not. I'd like to think that I'm just an infant in where I'm going to be and where I want to go. So, guys, now give me a 2 if you think now, after what Cotton has said, if you think that you're ready to move on. Because, all it takes, to be ready to move on, is simply for you to decide, right? And, that's all it is. It's simply a choice. You're going to make a choice whether to have breakfast tomorrow. You're going to have a choice. This is also a choice. This can be a line in the sand for you. You can simply decide. You can simply make the choice that I'm not willing to be where I'm at anymore. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to make that next step. I'm ready to become the things that I've always wanted to become and do the things that I've always wanted to do. Guys, give me a 3 if you're ready for that now. And if you're not, that's okay too. Give me a 4 if you think you might be. So quite a few, obviously, Cotton, as you see here. But I'll tell you, one of the things that I've benefited most from in my life has to do with alignments. And you mentioned it earlier, but when you surround yourself with successful people, whatever success means, that definition, you tend to become that. You tend to do that. When we say that we want you to be successful, we mean it from the bottom of our hearts. We wish everyone in this webinar was a multimillionaire. We wish every one of you, could become powerful and become strong, because when any of us get stronger, we all get stronger, right? Are we a family? Is this a city on a hill? Give me a 1 if this is a city on a hill and you consider yourself a member of the family. So when I hear anyone in my family win, then that means everyone in our family wins, right? We all win. So I hope you're seeing this. As any of us get stronger, we all get stronger because, again, this is our OMG family. And that's how I feel about you guys. All right, so guys, if you're here last week, you're going to be lost. I'm just going to tell you up front because I'm going to just kind of real briefly go over where we were, and then we're going to move forward. So in case this is, you missed last time, where we were last week is we talked about the Google Partner Program, and we talked about the Google Grants Program for nonprofits. And so a very short recap of that is that Google Grants is a program that's offered by Google where they will give qualifying charities $10,000 a month in AdWords to spend to promote their charity. And this is a program that any 501c3, which in the United States that's an IRS tax designation, is eligible for that. Most of them are. There's some real specific rules of agencies that aren't, but all that information is stuff that I gave you last week. There's a brochure you can get. But I also talked about the Google Partner Program and how the hardest part of the Google Partner Program is the minimum ad spend, which is you have to spend $10K every 90 days. And so, this is a way to do that. We talked about last week. If you can help a charity get this money, then you can get credit for it. Okay? So that's kind of that was the recap. That was last week's episode. You probably TiVoed through, hopefully, if you were here last time, and you're getting right to the next episode, which is now. So last week, again, we talked about a lot of things, but there's a couple of things that we didn't talk about. And so we're going to go over a couple of different things in a couple of different areas. One of the things that I wanted to talk about that we didn't hit on last time is that qualifying, let me tell you this first. So the $10,000 a month, $10,000 a month ad spend for the charity to be able to keep that money every month, they have to meet certain performance metrics. Okay? So if you just load up your AdWords and you go spend it every month and you don't get any clicks and you don't make any progress, Google will take that money away from you. Okay? So that's actually really good news, because if you're not using it, then that means no one's getting any benefit from it. So, but the benefit for you as the SEO is this. One of the benefits is this. The metrics that you have to meet, to keep the money are very easy, okay? And they're all in the program brochure, but they require monthly maintenance, okay? So for an average charity, I would tell you that I spend about 2 hours a month, okay, for each one that I work with, all right? 2 hours of actual real time doing the things that need to be done, all right? So if you want to charge for this, then you absolutely could charge for this, okay? You could do, a standard AdWords spend, which is 10 to 15%, okay? So you could absolutely do that if you wanted to, and that is justified. You could also do an in-kind donation, meaning that you would donate your time to the charity, and then the value of that technically is whatever you say it is. So you could say that 2 hours AdWords management is it's worth $2,000, and then you can write off $2,000 a month from your tax liability. All right. So there's different ways that you can take advantage of this. Okay. There's not just one way really to take advantage of this knowledge. There's multiple ways. So another thing, and so bear with me here for a little bit, because some of this is just information I need to give you, and then we'll kind of go to something a little bit more structured. Okay. But one of the things, so you're using the $10,000 as a foot in the door technique, right? So, you're going to use it to get inside of the organization. Once you're inside of the organization, There's many, many things that you can use to your benefit and to their benefit, and we could fill 10 webinars with it. But some of the immediate ones would be what I just mentioned. You could actually get paid by them to manage that account. You could offer them peripheral services like retargeting or website design, any other type of services that you need. Okay. Cotton, did we talk about the board of directors last time? I can't remember.
No, I don't think we did. I think I brushed
Okay.
over it a little bit, but towards the end.
All right, good. Well, let me go over that. Guys, give me a 1 if you know what a board of directors is for a corporation. Give me a 2 if you don't know. Give me a 2 if you don't know. All right. All right. So let me give you a very, very short version of why I'm mentioning boards of directors. Okay. A board of directors for a charity has a very specific purpose. And that purpose initially is to get the charity up, meaning that if you are a new charity, you will want to have an attorney on your board of directors because then someone can do your legal work. You'll want to have an accountant on your board of directors because then someone can do your taxes and manage your books. Okay, so what you do initially is you find people who provide the services that you need to launch the charity. Okay, but once you're beyond the infancy, then what you want is powerful people. You want people who have resources. You want people who have money. You want people who have connections. Okay? And so what you're going to find on the board of directors of an average size charity is that, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 members, everyone on that board is someone that you want to know. All right? And we're talking mayors and political people and owners of companies, and let me tell you who you are to them. All right, what you are to them is you are that guy or girl who helped them really explode their charity. That's who you are to them. You're not that pushy marketing guy or girl that came in and tried to sell them something. You are that guy or girl who came in, showed an honest and sincere interest in the work that they're doing, and then helped them achieve their goals. Guys, I know I showed a couple of testimonies or a couple of the case studies on the last one, but $10,000 a month in AdWords can absolutely turn a charity into a machine. Give me a 2 if you understand what $10,000 a month can do for a charity. Give me a 2 if you have an idea. Okay, it's powerful. It's super, super powerful. That means that they have money to recruit more volunteers. They have money to recruit more people to donate. They have more power to directly impact their target audience. I mentioned on the last one, my charity is human trafficking. My AdWords account, part of it runs ads that are directed toward the victims. So if you were to search some terms, on Google, you would find ads in different languages for my charity that say things like, do you need help? Do you want out? Is someone holding you against your will? Okay, so in this instance, these AdWords are targeted directly at the population that we want to help. Okay, so this money can be used in multiple different ways. Okay. But there's one thing that we didn't go over on the last webinar, and that is the fact that a decent percentage of the charities that you're going to work with will actually be able to get a little bit more than $10,000 a month. Just a little bit more. Anybody want to guess how much more? I see some of you have done your homework. Yes, that's right. Up to $40,000 per month. So if you gave me a 2 earlier that you know how much $10,000 a month can do, what do you think $40,000 can do?
Steven, I don't mean to interrupt you right now, but it's hashtag time. I want people to do, if this is something that we didn't even share with them last time, guys, if now you realize you can go up to $40,000 a month, I want you to do hashtag 40K right here. Hashtag 40K. 40K right there. Guys, if this doesn't get you excited, what does? I mean, what is it? We have 400 people on here. Steven, I wouldn't even move until we at least get a couple hundred of these things. I mean, Fletch, what do you think about this, man? That you're able to start a charity that you're passionate about, or that you're able to walk into a charity, talk to the board, and know that you might have $40,000 to alter their whole charity.
Well, it's huge. I mean, I actually pulled my headphones off, listened to the webinar to talk to the rest of the people in the office here. Like, this is such a massive shift in our ability to open doors and truly help people and help ourselves at the same time. You know, the people we're going to be able to, you know, rub elbows with and you know, kind of go to battle with on our own team are the elite. You know, they're the people who are actually doing something. But, you know, giving somebody $10,000 a month is massive. $40,000 a month,
Right.
like that's such a game changer, and nobody knows about this.
No.
That's what's so crazy, is that nobody knows about it, and the few people who do are not in a position to be able to take advantage of it.
Well,
So,
there's some people that
yeah.
might know about it. There was a douchebag OMGer posted on his wall when we asked people not to. So,
Yeah, you told me about that.
yeah.
Lame.
Yeah.
Hey,
Lame.
Steven, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Here's where I'd like for you to get the hashtag mind blown. Even though that could have been the hashtag mind blown of the webinar, what happens when you have $40,000 worth of AdWords? What does that mean for us?
Well, it means a lot of things for us.
Mhm.
So, you know, obviously, first of all, you know, we're hitting our Google partner like in 10 seconds, right?
Mhm.
We're getting our badge in 10 seconds. We're being able to access companies and businesses of levels that you would have never even gotten a chance to talk to before.
Right. But let me ask you this, Stephen. These people can just come in here and just tinker with it themselves, right? Is that what you'd advise?
Oh, I'm sorry, Cotton. Now I know. I miss it sometimes. Yeah. So again, guys, remember we were talking about. Let me read this to you. I'm going to read this, and I'll be fast, I promise. But let me tell you what you have to do to get the 40K, and let me tell you if you think you can do this. Number one, you must have conversion tracking installed. In other words, someone needs to, you know, have some goals set in analytics, which you have to take the analytics test, so you should be able to do that. Number two, you have to hit your 10K a month account. Okay, so you got to spend the money that they're already giving you. You have to have a click-through ratio of 1% or higher. All right, and you have to have an authorized representative manage the account on a bi-weekly basis.
Oh, what did you just say?
you you have to have an authorized representative manage the account on a bi-weekly basis, i.e.
Oh, Google partner? You mean a
Yes,
Google
exactly.
partner? That's right, guys. They can't run their own AdWords campaign. You have to run it. So, guys, I don't care. You don't do this for free. So think about this. What if you were to land a massive charity in your major metropolitan area that has $40,000 and you know they have money? You don't think they're going to want to pay you 5%, 10% to manage this because they have money to do it because you've just given them $40,000 to play with. Now, I'm not trying to tell you to take advantage of charities, but guess what? They have employees and they get paid. I'd like to know this from working with charities so much.
And
So,
hey, Cotton,
sure.
and listen, hey, I got to tell you, you're not taking advantage of a charity. Whose money is it?
Right. It's
Google's.
exactly. So guys, give me a hashtag mind blown if now the pieces are starting to get together. Why we told you to take the tests, why we told you to get certified and come back today. Because now it can't run without you. How good does that feel now? They just can't get rid of you. Oh, sorry there, Brad Kellum, Pat Cole, Heidi. Sorry, Stephen Floyd. Now we don't need you anymore. See you, goodbye. You're the one that has to run it. And how well do you think that's going to sit when you got to now show up to all these functions and you get introduced to the person that brought $500,000 worth of AdWords to them over the last couple of years, where that's changed what they've done? And they go, oh, what do you do in your real life? Oh, I rank stuff on Google. Well, what do you mean? Guys, if you can't, oh my God, if you can't make money
And
off that,
there's the second one. I mean, like what Cotton was segueing to there is what I was saying before.
Mhm.
You 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 are this is a way to get in front of people who have the kind of connections and power that can change your business, your life a million times. You just a single person, again, if you're talking about a board that's in a mid-sized charity, okay, you're talking about the board members typically are going to be people who are worth millions of dollars, okay, lower millions of dollars, right? They might be worth a couple of $1,000,000. But these are people who own businesses, they own multiple businesses, and again, who are they going to go to when they need something?
Stephen, not to interrupt you, I'd like to tell everyone a story so they could piece it all together. This is an actual story, and I haven't even told this to you or to anybody. But my friend started dating a girl, and she had a friend or something, and says, yeah, she can't date me tonight because she's going to some charity event that her friend runs. I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And he's like, well, her best friend owns this big charity kind of marketing. I'm like, dude, listen to me. You need to let me come out with you and your girl next time. I want to meet this girl. So so we ended up she ended up finding me on Facebook. And so I ended up talking to her. And it turns out that here in Orlando, she runs about 10 out of the 30 largest charity functions in the city. I mean, she just had an event last Friday that brought in 750 people at $1,000 a ticket for the meal. So I was like, whoa, my goodness. So I ended up speaking to her and said, listen, how big could it change your business? And how many people could we change if I was able to give you this? And I just got explained it to her, not in great detail, but if I could get you $10,000 worth of Google advertising a month for every charity that you help, she goes, that would alter my business. That would alter my business. But not only that, but you would become one of the most affluent people in Orlando. So since then, this is funny, man, because it's like when you asked for it, it just comes. So she just texted me 2 hours ago, and then she said, "Can you be my partner and come with me to these 4 charity functions next month so I can introduce you to everyone?" Guys, tell me this. I want you to give me a hashtag money if you believe that I'm going to make some money. I mean, just give me hashtag money. Guys, this is how easy it was. I didn't have to sell anything. I was just like, hey, listen, I own this huge online marketing agency, and I love helping charities and understand that you do. Oh, yeah, I really do. How powerful would it be if I was able to show you how I'd be able to give you $10,000 to help out some of the charities you were? Oh my God, that would be amazing. I said, no, $10,000 a month. And she almost passed out. And then she goes, well, how do you do that? So I still haven't told her the schematics yet, but literally, man, it is like a pit bull chasing a bone right now. Like she's texting me, she's calling, she's excited. When can we get together for lunch? We can discuss this and this. And literally, I looked her up, and I'm not kidding you. This chick knows everybody in the city that someone should know. She's like going, yeah, we have, courtside magic seats, introduce you to all the wives. And it's like, oh my goodness. And guys, answer me this. How many of these people that are showing up for $1,000 a plate dinners do you think own businesses? And how many of them do you think might need SEO? So, guys, if this isn't getting your mind blown right now, yeah, it's great what we're talking about. But also, what's even better is when you get to help out people and help out yourself at the same time. It's like it's clean. It's not like there's anything dirty about it. It's great. You get to watch the excitement on people's faces, and I've got to experience it firsthand just last week. So hopefully I'll have some stories to tell about it. I mean, it's very promising in the beginning, but I'm excited about it myself. Just the fact of getting involved in some of these charities and stuff. I wouldn't have known how to do it. Hey, who needs SEO? It's like, get out of here. It's like no foot in the door. But it's like, hey, how would you like to have some free Google advertising? What'd you say? Excuse me? How'd you like to have some free Google advertising? Then it's like everyone just stops talking. It's like you can hear a pin drop. So that's how powerful this stuff is. But sorry to interrupt that, Stephen. I just wanted to connect the dots with people just to let them know just how amazing that this can be.
You connected them perfectly, and I'll tell you what, guys. When you if you think that you can't sell giving away $10,000 a month, wow. Cotton, can we do a role play real quick?
Oh, sure. Let's do it.
Hey, so we're in an event, and hi there, sir. I understand that you're in charge of Cotton Grammar Charities.
Yeah, I actually am. What kind of charity do you run?
Well, actually, first of all, I'd like to tell you that I really appreciate all the work that you do in our community. It's really important to me, and I really believe in your cause. That's why I'm here tonight at your event. What I'd like to do, I believe so strongly in it, is I would like to give you $10,000 a month worth of advertising. Would you have some time to talk with me about that?
Absolutely. Right.
Nah.
Yeah.
Too busy.
Sure. I mean,
So,
that's
guys,
how easy it is. I mean, seriously. What even kills me, Stephen, is all these people that just sit and say, "Well, I need an in. I need, to have a way to talk to people." This is literally the greatest way. And after you show them a few more things, I don't know if I should show them a nuclear bomb that I discovered over the last 24 hours that can even take this to another level. Because, once I get a hold of something, I walk around it,
I do.
sniff it, poke at it,
Yep.
and, throw some food at it, see if it eats it, and then come up with something even crazier. So
No,
I've
I
been
know
able to
that.
come up with
Listen,
something pretty crazy.
nobody. I know that you can, and here's the thing. That's what's so crazy about this. This whole deal is the Wild West.
Right.
So few people know about it, and even the people that know about it, they don't understand. And I've got to. We're going to answer some questions, but I got to answer one question real quick because a couple of people are putting it in the chat box.
Sure.
Guys, this is per charity. This is
Right.
per charity.
Right.
So 10,000 or 40,000. If you sign up 10 of them, you multiply those numbers by 10.
Right. This ain't one
Guys,
bullet.
we're not talking about. Yeah, we're talking about. So if you go out and you sign up a charity and you get them, they only qualify for the 10K, let's say initially. And let's say that you want to. The way you're going to monetize this is they're going to pay you to manage it. Okay, just for fun. Let's just say that you're going to charge them $500 a month or $1,000 a month to help them manage that 10%. I mean that 10,000, okay? There's no cap on that. I told you it takes me about 2 hours a month to do one of these deals. You could have 10 of these, 20 of these, 30 of these, 40 of these. You know, there's no cap. There's no limit. The only limit is how many lives do you want to change? How many people do you want to impact? What's your number? Do you want to help 10 people? Do you want to help 100 people? Do you want to help 1,000 people? Do you want to help 1,000,000 people? And, you know, there's a thought process, there's a mind shift that goes on when you change the way that you set your goals. And, you know, I'm going to tell you how I do it, but I'm not telling you to do what I do, okay? I'm not telling you to do what I do, but I am a Christian and I tithe, which means that I give the first 10% of everything I make to my church. When I set my financial goals, I set them based on how much I'm going to tithe that year, okay? I don't say I'm going to make, you know, $1 million this year in my head. I say I'm going to tithe, you know, $80,000, $10,000, right? It's the same thing, but it's not, because it's a mindset. Because the end goal is a different thing, right? So, you know, we're going to talk about, I mean, guys, we're not even, I mean, I don't even know what Cotton's talking about. I know this. If Cotton were to chew on this for a couple of hours, he could come up with some nuclear bombs. If he were to chew on this, once he gets in it and gets his feet wet and starts meeting some of these people and starting to see like other things, this could never end. And he's a normal human like you are, guys. He's a normal human just like you are, but he's persistent. It's like a dog with a bone. All right. So, you know, a couple of things. You know, I want to make sure that, you know, you guys understand, all right? You know, and we're not going to go into, you know, tonight into all the millions of different ways that you can do this, but let me throw just a couple of small things out, okay? I can tell you that it's not out of the ordinary for the charity involved to do a mailing to their list thanking you for your assistance, full of contact information for you. We would like to thank Stephen Floyd for helping us with our online marketing. He has been, you know, instrumental in us growing the organization, blah, blah, blah. If you need marketing services, you know, contact Stephen at here. And some of these charities have lists that would make any SEO feel like a total wuss. Okay? There are charities that have lists that have, you know, hundreds of thousands and millions of people on them. Okay? Guys, give me a 1 if you can still hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. All right. A couple people saying they aren't hearing. Okay. Another thing. Now, Derek, I think will appreciate this one. All right. This one's for you, Derek. Guys, do you have any idea how powerful some of these charities' websites are as far as domain metrics? Do you know that you pretty much can do whatever you want as far as putting links and things?
Oh, you don't mean a link back to us. Really?
Dude, you want to talk about DA? You want to talk about some DA?
Come on.
You know, take your PBNs.
I was just thinking about when they're going to email to thank me that how I legally changed my name to Cotton Grammar SEO Marketing. So when it goes, we want to thank Cotton Grammar SEO Marketing, and you know that's my first name. My last name's going to be my phone number.
Guys, but I'm just and listen. There's so much more. We could fill 10 more webinars, okay, with the more, okay. But let me just tell you.
You know what? Just one thing before we continue. I'm not going to interrupt you. I want to reach out to Derek right now. Derek, I'm not trying to pick on you or anything, but you and I talked, and I don't think it's any secret that you're not the biggest fan of like going out knocking on doors. I mean, that's you would rather be the SEO genius than you'd rather be the sales genius, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Right. So you're the normal guy that we could ask this to because you're more fall in the lines of, and I know that you're good at sales. You just prefer not to do it. But when you hear a method like this, what does it fire off in your brain? Do you even think that you could move something like this, even though that you're not necessarily, a sales driven person?
Yeah, it's to me, it's kind of you don't have to sell any. It's just kind of it does all the work for you, and it's just you're doing everyone a favor just for showing up, basically. It's
Hmm.
I don't think I'm going to be like pressured to try to get them to close a deal. I don't feel like I have to negotiate so much or any of that kind of like the sales tactics that I'm not
Right.
I'm not like comfortable doing with. You know what I mean?
Hmm. But in other words, you feel comfortable doing this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're already talking with a bunch of charities. I think we have 10 lined up already. So
Wow.
it's,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's how proud this. And I'm not trying to pick on you or anything. It's just that that you just prefer not to be that guy that goes out and knocks on doors. You're more the affiliate guy, and that you want to be the behind the scenes
Yeah.
SEO mad scientist, and that's amazing. So, but it
Yeah.
makes you
Like,
feel comfortable. Sure.
yeah, because I mean, sales to me has always been I don't know, it's bad taste in my mouth. Or it's like, because like we have businesses and it's like we get sick of, the call. And, like people are like, oh, we Google and all this. And I'm like, yeah, bull crap, It's like,
Right.
so it just leaves a bad taste. Like I don't want to be that guy on the other end doing that kind of stuff, And
Sure. Understand it 100%.
so I think this is way different.
Great. So there you go, Stephen. I just wanted to, to find out the perspective of someone that really just doesn't want to go out there and hit it hard with sales. That hey, this is something that you've been able to introduce to everyone that that makes everyone feel good about. So
Absolutely. And
there you go.
you guys, and I want you to understand that let me tell you who you become. Okay? Like let me just share this with you. Well, my people, my wife and I are very active in our church, okay? But people know us from our nonprofit, really, is the main identity that we have. So if someone says, hey, do you know Steve Floyd? Do you know Arch Floyd? The thing that they think of is, oh yeah, those are the guys that run that charity that helps trafficking victims, right? Well, when you do this stuff, you become that person that helped them achieve goal, whatever their goal is. That's who your identity is. Your identity is not some slick marketer. You're not some slick marketing guy. You're that guy or girl that helped them win. Because people who are involved in charities are involved because they're passionate about it. People don't start charities because they just, woke up one morning and said, I think I'll just start a charity today. People are passionate about it. It's important to them. And when you help people with the things that are important to them, they tend to be the kind of people that start getting interested in helping you with things that are important to you. So, the whole identity that you have set for yourself when you partner with people and you do this is just, again, it's not just the board of directors. I mentioned those first because those are the most powerful people in the organization typically, or some of them. And you are going to, make them people who are going to like you right off of the bat. And I'll tell you, people who are wealthy typically don't own one business. They typically own multiple businesses or at least have multiple business interests. And, when they see you being helpful, they see you, the word's going to get around. And again, the ways that you can do this from an SEO perspective, we could go forever. Backlinks on all kinds of different things and just all kinds of crazy stuff that we can do that's completely fine, completely, good. So let me move on. Cotton, is this an okay place to kind of move on to the next?
Absolutely.
I was going to go in. All right. So, guys, let me tell you what I want to go to next real quick. So I'm going to answer some general questions, but then at the end I'll drop some resources for you because I'm not here to answer 1,000 questions. I'm going to point you to the resource that answers all the questions, okay? Kind of like what Cotton said earlier, all right? But, basically to be able to qualify for this money, you basically need to be, in the U.S., you need to be a 501c3 charity. That's a specific tax designation, and to be basic, what that means is that they can accept money that's tax deductible. Okay, So if you call an organization and they don't know if they qualify or not, just ask them, if I donate money to you, can I write off of my taxes? Okay, and if they say yes, then in the U.S. that means they're a 501c3. Now, outside of the U.S., what Google Grants does is it goes by whatever those countries consider a comparable. So yes, it's available in pretty much all of the first world countries. All right, and again, I'll point you to the resources about that. All right, so again, a little bit of housekeeping to answer just some real specific questions. They have to be a 501c3 charity, and they should know if they are that or not to apply. The application process takes about 30 days. Okay, currently today, now Google changes its standards from time to time, but today the Google Grants team has a 30-day goal to approve new accounts. Okay, so and guys, I'm seeing questions to stuff I literally just answered. Yes, it's available outside of the United States. And yes, I'll give you a list later.
Stephen, one of the things that I just want to note to very quickly is what I don't want this to turn into is just like I stated before when I talked about my why. We're providing you this information. We're not going to fill that out for you. We're not going to pay for it. We've shown you what you need to do. You're going to have to do some work to get it done. So when I see what's the time frame for submitting it, that's a general question or something, but don't message Stephen, don't message me and ask me, why didn't I get approved? What this, guys, if you really want to do this, put the time to figure it out yourself. We're not here to hold your hand every step of the way. We've shown you where the water is. Now you got to drink it. You're going to have to do some work. So if you get stuck with something, Stephen is not Google support. I'm not Google support. So we're here to help you. I get messages where people get very irritated saying, why won't you tell me why this won't work? And it's like, well, I'm not Google. Why can't you figure this out? So it's like you want us to do your work for you instead of you doing any work. So if you guys understand this, that we've shown you Google Grants, Stephen has done the same work that you're going to have to do to figure all this out. Don't expect him to do the work for you. So here's you know what? I think we're going to do it clear. So if you guys understand what I'm saying, give me a hashtag clear. Give me a hashtag clear. I want to make sure everyone, because Stephen's going to let me know about all these silly personal messages coming in saying, how do I get signed up for a 501c? And we're going to show you how to do that. But we're not attorneys.
Yes.
We're not attorneys.
Yeah.
We're not Google. If they turn you down, don't come to Stephen or me and ask why they did. I don't know. And Stephen, do you know why they turned him down?
Yeah. No, I'm not Google.
No, right. So guys, please, I'm not even going to let Stephen show you how to find all these charities till we get about 300 hashtag clears. I want to make sure that everyone's clear. Sure, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just going to say, people are putting different URLs and stuff into the chat. I'm going to give you all the resources that you need at the end, guys. So don't be frantically searching for information.
Right. No, it's just, guys, please, when you message us and then says, hey, am I supposed to link directly to my money site? We have over 50 videos on that. Have you watched them all? If you haven't watched them all, don't message Fletch, Greg, me, or anybody. That's why there are videos there. Not to be your Cliff Notes and not to be your servant. We're not your servant. We run more successful businesses than anyone in SEO, and we don't have time to be your butler. So we're giving you all the information. You're going to have to put in some groundwork to get it. I know this sounds harsh, but guys, now's the time for you to be a man and to be a woman and to not be a lazy ass and get the work done. I'm sorry that that's harsh, but that's just the way that it is, because I'm going to have to dig in and find out how to do all this stuff. I'm not going to call up and ask Stephen, have I ever called you up and go, hey man, listen, I can't figure this out over here. No, we don't do, I don't do, Fletch has never done that to me. Derek has never done that to me. Hey Cotton, I can't figure something. No, Derek's already got the answer. Or Derek might shoot
Yep.
something. Derek might want my opinion on something. Hey, I discovered this. What do you think? He might want my opinion, but not, hey, Cotton, can you go ahead and test this link for me and see if this way ranks or not, and then just get back to me? So please, guys, Steven's going to give you as much information as we can on this webinar, but dig in. Let's like see how many clears we got here, because I want to make sure that everyone's clear that Steven is not on Google support team and that we are not people's butlers.
Yeah, hey,
Got
and I
it.
appreciate you saying all that, Cotton. It's true, because I'll tell you guys, if you'd like to know who helped me get into the Google Partner Program, it was nobody. I did it myself. And if you'd like to know who helped me and my wife set up our nonprofit, it was me. I did it myself. If you want to know who learned about the Google Donate program and how to get signed up and how to do all that, it was me. I did it myself.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
I'm
even
not
have
as
an
smart
OLG.
as you, Steven. I'm not as smart as you. You're smart. You're Stephen
Yeah,
Floyd.
I'm not.
I'm not Fletch. I'm
Yeah.
not you. I'm not Derek. I can't figure this out. Can I just pay you to do
Man,
it
at
for me,
least half.
Steven? Steven, can I pay you to do it for me?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, at least half the people on this webinar are smarter than me, I'm sure. So do we have enough clears, Cotton?
There's some people holding out, but let's just move forward just for the sake of not making people pay. So
All
please
right, guys,
continue.
listen. Thank you. So we're gonna transition real quickly. And Cotton, would you give me the screen real quick? Um, and
Sure.
I want to show them some things here. So, all right, I just sent you all a link. And if not, then
You should
what?
make presenter.
I mean, I guess technically I could hit it if you want me to.
Yeah, I'm like trying to look. Okay. You should have it now.
All right, guys. Give me one if you can see my screen. All right. So I put this link in chat, and if you didn't see it, don't worry. I'll put it again later. Okay. This is a link to the IRS, and it is the downloadable database of every organization in the United States of America that is a 501c3. Okay. And right now the list is just south of 1 million organizations. So, Cotton, how many people are in OMG right now?
Steven, can I ask you a question? How did you find
Yeah.
this?
Oh my gosh. I spent 30 minutes probably looking for this damn thing.
Right, but you found it, right?
Yeah, well, I did.
Exactly.
I found it. It wasn't fun.
Right.
I wish someone had just dropped it into a chat box for me. Believe me.
Right. There is about 2,500 people in OMG right now.
So I'm not great at math, but if you divide, let's just say 1 million by 2,500 people, I think there's a reasonable opportunity for people. Give me a 1 if you think that that's a reasonable opportunity. That there's just about 1 million in just the U.S. That there may be just enough for us. All right. So again, I'll drop that in. You can download this, okay? And you can pull this up into an Excel. And I'm on a new computer. I would show you what it looks like, but it looks great with a new Excel file. But let me show you something else, something that is going to be probably easier and quicker for you. There's a site called charitynavigator.org, okay? And Charity Navigator is a place that rates, and I just dropped it in chat, that rates charities, okay? And so it is a database, and I think they have, 8,000. There's 8,000 charities in this database, but what is great about this is you can search for this by keywords, okay, and things like that, all right? So if you are passionate about, let's say, I don't know, let's say that, let me type in animals just for fun. Let's just say that you're really passionate about animals, okay? There's 467 charities that have to do with animals, okay? And what I want you to see here, guys, give me 1 if you can see my screen. Give me 1 if you can still see it okay, if you can actually, give me a 2 if you can't read like the small print. All right, give me a 1 if you can. Give me a 1 if you can read, like, okay, all right, good. So you guys can still see. All right, so one of the things I want to show you here is on this site, it's grouped by categories, okay? It's also by state, okay? So you can filter and go through. It's sorted by budget size, okay? There's a bunch of different filters in here, okay? But 100% of the charities in this database are 501c3s, okay? So, you know, this is a good place that you can start. The other database, you know, you're going to have to, you know, add some stuff to. But, you know, I'll tell you, and let me tell you from having done this, I've been using this strategy personally for about 6 years, and let me tell you something. Like, I don't even think 1% of the charities know about this, okay? And if I had someone else on here to corroborate this with me, I can promise you that they would tell you the same thing. Nobody freaking knows about this. You know, Google isn't like beating down the doors advertising that they're giving away money, okay? Obviously, it's a tax write-off for them, but the program is just one of those little kind of hidden things. That's why none of you had never heard of it before, or very few of you, okay? So the chances are very good that if you pick a couple of these charities and go after them, the chances are very, very good that they're not going to know about it, okay? And look what I have here, okay? I have executive director, founder. I have, you know, CEO. I have the chair. Okay, I have all their information, you know, right here. You know, I've got, you know, all this information, you know, because what I'm not going to do is I'm not just going to pull up the database, pick one, you know, and just pick up the phone and start calling them, right? I'm going to know something about them, right? And for me personally, when I do it, you know, I do it based on charities that I want to support. I don't just do it, you know, this isn't a money getting method for me. This is a, you know, a support, and there's another reason that I'm going to tell you at the end. But and so, you know, you can find things here. There's lots of good information. There are other sites also that have this type of information, and you could just Google them. Okay, just Google, you know, find charities or whatever. All right, and so. You know, again, I dropped both of those links. So there's the first list has about 1 million places that you can start the entire list. This one has about 8,000. Okay, but of course, again, this is a lot more specific, right? So, you know, if you have a specific cause that you want, you know, to support, then you can find it in here. Okay, so I think that was it for this part. Again, you know, a simple Google search. You know, guys, if you wanted to, let me just. And you know, this is all live, so hopefully Google will cooperate with me here. Sure. But let's just say, and guys, I want to tell you, a lot of y'all have asked about what my charity is, and I really appreciate that. But my wife and our board has actually they don't want me releasing that. Not that you guys are bad guys or they don't want more help, but they want me to keep that part of my life separate. All right, so thank you for asking. And if you do a little digging, it would be very easy to figure out which one it is if you know how to use Google. But I'm not going to just come out and just share it, okay? But what you'll see here, you know, is what I'm talking about, right? You know, learn more. You know, learn more about human trafficking. You know, victims share their stories. You know, learn more, right? Join the movement to end slavery. Okay. All of these, I can pretty much guarantee you, these are AdWords. These are, you know, but here's the thing. You know, this one here, is this Google grants, or are they paying for this? Right? We don't know, do we? So, you know, again, you know, as far as finding people, as far as finding, you know, places to help, you've got the first list of all of them. You've got the Charity Navigator, and you could actually just start Googling. You know, I can promise you that some percentage of these people are not. They don't even know about the program, so they're actually spending real money every month on this, and they probably could be getting it for free. So guys, do me a favor. Give me a 1 if you think you've got, you know, some good resources now to find some. Give me one if you feel like, because that's more than I had when I started. When I started, I just went like, there's like events in Dallas. There's like a online event deal that just there's a charity section, and that's where I started.
Once again, not to interrupt you,
kind of.
not to interrupt you, Stephen, but
Yeah.
I would like to stress this again. Guys, remember, this is nothing that you want out for other people to find out, especially some of these dirtbag groups that are in Facebook that claim that they're SEO experts. They will take and run this in the ground. And what they'll do is, don't be this type of person also that scrapes all these and starts calling everyone until you know what you're doing, because they're going to check you out and they're going to destroy you. These are charities. These are very powerful and important people because they have money. If you don't think they know more about business than you do, perhaps. So if you think that you're just going to waltz in there and not have all of your ducks lined up in a row, you're going to get destroyed. So be very careful about doing that. But guys, listen, please. I wouldn't even discuss this out in the Facebook group. The simple reason is that there's other NHBers. You know what? They think they're so smart or whatever. If they reach out to you and ask you what these webinars are about, they can pay for it just like you do. But you know what they want to do? The reason why they're not doing anything with their life right now and why you are is because they're not willing to put the sacrifice in. Fletch, didn't you have to sell your car to get this information for OMG?
Yeah. I got a mouthful of Cheetos right now, but
hey, dude, that's good. Cheetos are good, man.
Cheetos are good. That was one of the things I was going to talk about earlier when I was, kind of telling my story. But there are sacrifices everybody has to make to do what they want to do in life, and quite frankly, it's the stuff that we remember. I'm really big on story. I'm really big on the way we connect with each other. Those are the things you remember. You quite frankly, many times don't remember how good the success felt, but you connect that to what you had to sacrifice to get it. And, for me, it was selling that car. At the time, it was horrible. It meant I could not drive to another construction job without, driving around in an old, beat-up, unair-conditioned vehicle. But it's what got me here. And for everybody here, you've all made sacrifices, you all made decisions to pay for, Project J or X or Breakthrough, wherever you're in right now, to get here. Make that sacrifice a great story for yourself, for your family, for whoever you pass that along to. It's not bad unless you don't do anything with it. And even then, it's just a decision you made, and you can learn from it and move on. But for me, hardest stuff I went through are probably, quite frankly, most of the things that people know me for within OMG, right? Failing construction company, selling a car to get here, having an entire server bank hacked and losing all my income. Those are not the successes, but those are what we're known for, and those are the things that connect us. So make use of what you have committed to do, and tell those stories, and let other people know what you care about. It's extremely powerful.
True. Thank you, Fletch. What I really want to stress with you is, guys, is if you have an OMGer that's an X or then it's an NHBer and they ask you what the webinar was about, tell them to watch the replay. You're like not their cliff notes. And I can't keep stressing this enough. The next time I'm going to start, it just burns me. It's my pet peeve. Where can I find this video at? Look for it. Because you know what someone else is going to have to do? They're going to look for it for you and they're going to post it. And you're just being a lazy ass. Don't be a lazy ass. That is exactly why you will make no money. So with this, guys, when all these NHBers that refuse to cough up the money, ask them if they're still driving their car, ask them if they're eating, and ask them why you should give your money to do their homework for them, to just give you the information that you earned, because we don't need this information out into these other SEO groups. So please, guys, I hope you feel me on this, but you know what? The bottom line is I can only help people that want to help themselves. That's it. So please, I beg you, This douchebag that posted it on his wall just kind of said, hey guys, we don't care that you help us. We don't care. We're going to blast it out there to everyone. So please listen to what I'm telling you, because I'm not going to help you if I see that you're doing this sort of stuff. We want to keep the information in OMG. That's what makes us OMG. Not have it in some black hat group and all the kids scrape the list and start emailing it and running loose with it. This is for real businesses and real people that care. This isn't for children or douchebags to get a hold of to try to abuse. I really want to help people. I know Fletch does. I know Steven does. I know everyone else does. So when you're jabbering about it, or when you're posting it in the Facebook group because you didn't pay attention, like several of you did last week, asking about it, listen to what we're trying to tell you. If you care about your information and you want to protect your money and you want to protect your information, keep it to yourself. So, Steven, please continue.
Absolutely. Hey, Cotton, on that same note, anything interesting about the Google Maps program this week?
Yes, there is. This you can go into it if you want to.
Well, what I wanted to say was some jerk off decided to make a joke out of a Google custom map, and what did Google do?
Oh, yeah. That's a great point. Guys, you like seen what I posted in Facebook? Someone took the Google custom maps and they put the Android pissing on the Apple location, and then they shut maps down. So like we can't do custom maps anymore. So or make edits on the map. So that's what happens. Here's the thing about OMG, guys, to why I'm going to keep hammering you guys on this until you get it. OMG is $5,000 or $7,000 what you paid to get in. It's a huge sacrifice. If you want to be looking important, running in all these free SEO groups, spewing what I'm teaching you, what Steven, what Greg, and all the rest of them, so you can look like you're big and bad, then guess what? All you're doing is watering everyone else's information down. Because the information, guys, you want to know why you're in these free SEO groups? Because that's what they're worth. That's what they're worth. Yep. Free.
And man, if you guys, on a personal level, if this gets out and all these, stupid people start doing all this, email scam blasting and all that kind of stuff, is Google just going to turn the program off? I doubt they would actually do that. Could they make it much, much, much more difficult to get involved in, and therefore not only do you get screwed, but also charities get screwed, and then that really pisses me off.
Yeah.
If that's what happens, if I share this information with you guys, and the wrong people get a hold of it and then act on it, and then it gets harder for people to help people, then this is done exactly opposite of what my goal was. And I'll,
sure.
So please, guys, please, keep this in this group. Loose lips sink ships is the World War II saying.
Just so people know, also, Steven's in a lot of groups. I'm not, but I have people that are in every group that the moment an OMG or post anything that they shouldn't, they normally send me a message. And before long, Mike, David, Fletch, Greg, Steven, everyone knows about it within about 5 minutes. So we monitor everything that goes on. And remember, just all you're doing is hurting all of us. This is information that I don't want getting out anywhere, especially the assimilation webinars. Yeah, I know we can't stop piracy and other stuff, but just please be respectful of what you paid for. If you want to be big man, in these little black hat groups or in all these little free groups, you know what? Chances are OMG is not the place for you to be in. So just please keep it in here. I can't express this enough. I'm going to be going over some sales and conversion stuff over the next month and a half that literally, if it leaks out, it is literally going to destroy your chances of it ever working. Why do you think that Derek holds all of this top SEO information and only shares it with people like me, Jimmy, Greg, or someone else, and it's only whispered around 4 people? Because the moment that it gets around to everyone else, if we whisper it to Steven, that's fine. But if the moment it gets out to everyone else, Google shuts it down. Google just shuts it down. So I'm done with my rant, but Steven, continue with your next phase that you were going to go into.
Yeah, I'm about to transition into something that probably, well, if it's not a hashtag mind blown, then again, I don't even know what you're doing here, but while you were talking, a thing popped up, and I'm not going to say names, guys, because I don't want to out anybody or anything, but I just saw here that someone from this group had posted how they had just became a Google partner today, and their parents are congratulating them, like on their personal thread. This stuff matters to me, guys. It matters to me. If you'll do these things I'm telling you to do, it's going to make your business better. And I'll tell you, once you get that Google badged partner status, your credibility is going to be off the charts. And, again, if you think about that second or that third charity, when you walk up and, you hand them your business card and they see that Google partner on there, dude, it's impossible not to sell that. It's impossible not to. It's impossible not to, have people, see you as, a serious person, as a real business, as a real professional. And so, outside of the whole charity thing, again, the Google badge partner thing that we've taught you basically how to get now, basically for free, where it's supposed to cost you money, that alone can change, your business. So, Cotton, the next thing I was going to go to is the last kind of the big thing.
One more thing, guys. I want you to give me a hell no right now. If you don't realize how this gets out, if you want every little black hat kid becoming a Google partner and saying that he's Google Analytics certified and then trying to compete with you for your business. All these free groups where all these guys claim that they're SEO experts, but you don't see them rank anywhere, ask them where they're ranking at. Do you want them telling all their people that they're Google partners so they can steal your business? What does it matter? We don't have to rank. We're Google partners. Do you want them saying that? So give me a hashtag hell no. And you know what? I should have about 300 people easily doing this is what I'm trying to say. That's what you don't want. That's what you don't want out there, because that's all they got. Because these other free groups, next time you want to pay for coaching, next time you want to give someone some of your money outside of OMG, ask them where their rankings are. Ask them to show you their bank account, because I'll happily show it to anyone. You want to know where my rankings are at? Type it in SEMrush. So all these other free groups that you're in, doing all that sort of stuff, if you want this information getting out and it starts spreading like wildfire, and then everyone's a Google partner and it's just normal stuff, then please show me that you're serious. Give a hashtag hell no that you don't want it to happen. So that's how serious I am about this. So Stephen, please continue.
Yeah, I tell you what, Cotton, let me take a break for about 60 seconds.
Sure.
And prepare like a thing, so I'll just leave this up. So guys, just give me about 60 seconds and I will be right back.
Sure.
And if you need to take a break, guys, take it now and come back, because the next thing is as powerful as anything that we've talked about. It may be the most powerful thing we've talked about.
In other words, you're telling someone to just fasten their seatbelt. So Fletch and I can chat until you get back. Fletch and I always have stuff to talk about.
No, not us, Cotton. We can never talk about anything interesting.
Yeah. So
if Steven's got to step away for a breather to come back and dump something, it's going to be big.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited. I'm rubbing my hands together right now. And
sure.
Yeah, we're going to do, so side note, anybody that might be on tonight that's in Phoenix, after we wrap up the assimilation webinar, we're going to get together. So kind of a prelude and side note to the summer of OMG get-togethers. We do this from time to time in Phoenix, and it's amazing to get to see other online marketers / OMGers / SEO experts face to face, and get to kind of just sit and actually have somebody not glaze over when you talk about backlinks and WHM and
right.
Anchor text percentages and all that kind of thing. It's nice. So
great.
Looking forward to that.
You know what? While we're on this subject, how many of you guys are excited about the Assimilation US tour? Give me a hashtag US tour. I want to see how many people's excited about that, because it's really going to happen, guys. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you some cities that we're definitely going to be in. 100% certain, unless Iron Mike or Fletch dies, which I don't see happening. Cheetos never killed anyone. So what we will definitely be in Dallas, Texas, We will definitely be in Phoenix, Arizona. We're definitely going to be in Los Angeles. And outside of that, we haven't mapped out anywhere else. And obviously, we're going to be in Orlando. That is where I am. And guys, if you are going to be in the Orlando area next Friday, Mike, Liz, myself, Kurt Inget, Wyatt Jozwowski, Tim Schmidt, we will all be in Orlando. Feel free to message me in my inbox. I was going to talk to Mike to see if we might have the push off of this U.S. tour, but we will be. Yes, Gregory Ortiz. Gregory Ortiz just texted me. Yes, next Friday. So next Friday, I think Mike's going to fly in to Orlando next Thursday through next Saturday, and but definitely the only one that I know absolutely for certain, without a shadow of a doubt, is Phoenix because of Fletch. We will definitely be in Phoenix, Dallas, and Los Angeles. That is what is on our agenda at this moment, and we'll probably add about another 8 to 10 U.S. cities that we will be at. Guys, these events are going to be must attends. I'm going to tell you what's going to go on at these events. Obviously, we're going to socialize. We are going to have a great time. But literally, it's just to get out and meet all the OMGers. And every event, we're going to drop, I'm like going to drop a nuclear bomb. It's just going to be like a 5-minute little lesson, a nuclear bomb, kaboom, and then that's it. That's going to be the only lesson. I want to meet you. I want to hear your story. I want to hear what OMG means to you. I want you to ask me any questions that you want. I want to get to know you. I want you to get to know me. I want you to get to know Mike and whoever's going to be traveling with me at the time. We haven't nailed down where all the guests is going to be. Obviously, in Phoenix, you're going to get Mike, me, and Fletch for sure. And then all the other OMGers that are there. In other locations like Dallas, I think I'll be able to twist Steven's arm. Steven, Becker, myself, Angela Langlot, some other people. So obviously that'd be a great location for those like Brad Kellum, Wayne Vass, Armando Sinise, all these other people that are in Texas to drive up and meet us. We definitely want to see everyone. So if you're excited about it, guys, please show me that we're making the right decision doing this before we invest thousands and thousands of dollars of airlines, flight, time, and everything, that we're making the right decision. Give us a hashtag US Tour. If it sounds like something exciting that you're looking forward to, and we'll definitely be providing you more information on that in the next couple weeks. We're still in the preliminary phases of mapping out these exact dates. But the only date that we know for sure, if you want to show up and join us, is Orlando next Friday. Me, Mike, Liz, Tim Schmidt, Kurt Inget, Wyatt Jwazkowski. Gregory Ortiz just sent me profanity on his text. Yes, the profanity did start with the F, with the first letter of F. Says that he will be there. so we have Gregory Ortiz now added to the Orlando date. So if you're in the Orlando, Miami, Tampa area next Friday night, inbox me, and I will let you know exactly where we will be and where all of us will be meeting up. So that's not the U.S. tour. That's more so get together. We might have it a pre-launch that date, but we'll wrap back around and have another one in Orlando if you're not able to make it next Friday. So, Stephen, I'll turn it back over to you, being as you needed a break. So please continue.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, man. I'm excited about the U.S. tour. I'm glad Dallas is on there. In fact, I may fly into 3 or 4 of them. That sounds like just tons of fun.
Great.
So, hey guys, I want to show you something really quick before I move on. I talked about being a Google partner and being a badge partner. I talked about a bunch of the benefits. I wanted to show you an example, and I'm sorry I don't have a better picture for you. I'll try to blow it up a little bit. Guys, give me a 1 if you can see what that is. Yeah, give me a 2 if you can't. Give me a 2 if you're like, I see something, I don't know what that is. Well, let me tell you what this is. This is a swag box, all right? So when you are a Google badged partner, then you can request to host an event, a Google event. And you don't even have to have your own space. If you do, then that's great. But if not, there's lots of ways around that. You can, rent a space, or, you can share a space. with a different place. But basically, this is a goodie box basically that Google sends you, to help promote your event, and they will even do like a hangout for it, and so you can go somewhere that has like a meetup or whatever, and they'll have like a Google expert come on and do like a hangout for you. All right, and so this is just another thing. So this is Google again helping you promote your business. Now, as you look in here, guys, give me a 1 if you see we can only use this for AdWords. Give me a 1 if you see on here only AdWords. Shouldn't be any 1s. Okay, this is to promote your business. So don't think about being a Google partner is just AdWords, 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 AdWords. It's not. It's about credibility. It's about promoting your business. It's something as simple as a little Google coffee cup or a little Google pen. I'm telling you guys, I wish you could be with me, and I've given these out before. I wish you could see what an impact this has on people. Like Cotton mentions, one of his techniques that he shared in the past is conventions, and getting a booth, right? Dude, having these at a convention is off the charts. Again, there's a good percentage of people that literally think that that like the way that you get on Google is to like pay Google, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys know that, but there's a lot of people that don't even know what organic, or they have no idea like what the breakdown is. They think that everybody that's on Google is paying Google, right? And so when you align yourself in this way, not only does it completely separate you, from people who are scammy or spammy, right? And guys, you have any idea how many people got burned last year? Do you have any clue how many legitimate businesses were paying someone and they got killed last year because the person they was paying was not doing things that were sound strategies? And so now they're shy, right? Now they're like, oh crap. You say the word SEO and they're thinking, oh crap, I don't want to mess with that. Well, this changes that perception. Okay, so because it's assumed that if I'm a Google partner that I do what Google wants me to do, right? Guys, give me a 1 if you get that. And I'm not going to harp on that anymore, but I want you to make sure you guys understand that being a Google partner is a tremendous unfair advantage, okay, for you. All right. So we're going to go on to the last thing. So through this, I don't know how many hours journey we've been on together, guys, this being our number 2, we've talked a lot of things. I encourage you to go out and support charities. And the main reason that I wanted you to do that was because I wanted you to go out and support charities. And I hope that everyone that's hearing my voice understands that that's where my heart is, and that's what my intention was. But I enticed you a little bit, hopefully, by showing you that when you go out and help these charities, you are going to be able to make a tremendous positive impact on your business, financially, and your life. So I hope that I've achieved my goal number 1. And let me go to goal number 2. But before you start asking questions, there's caveats to this, okay? And I'm going to go over a few of them. So before the questions, please just let me do a little bit of presentation. Okay, so what I'd like now, guys, is I'd like to talk about the next thing, which is you becoming your own charity. Okay, so that's the next thing I'd like to talk to you about. All right, so we're moving now into you helping other charities to you actually starting your own charity. So I'm going to go over this. I'm going to go over the basics of this. I've done it, I know it, and I've helped several others do it. It's something that a normal human can do. And in the United States, the basic thing that you need to do to have your own charity is you have to fill out some paperwork and submit it to the IRS. Okay, and there's some fees associated with that. Okay, it's going to cost you a little bit less than $1,000 if you have someone help you with it, like I'm showing LegalZoom.com here. Okay, LegalZoom.com is not the best place or the worst place. I'm not endorsing them. I'm not related to them. Okay, They just happen to, be a reputable business online that will help you set up your 501c3. Okay, their charge here is $600, and it's about another $400 to the IRS. Okay, so again, it's a little bit less than $1,000. All right, so you guys should know me well enough now probably to know why I want you to do this. So do me a favor, guys. Type in the chat box why you think I want you to set up your own charity. Just so I have an idea that you guys are sending, are getting what I'm sending out. Let me know why. Okay, to give back, to help others, so we can help others. Do something you're passionate about. Exactly. Okay? So that's why I want you to do this. Okay? That's the reason I'm showing you this. All right? But like the other thing, there's a couple of other things involved too. Okay? So everyone on here, do me a favor, or at least, I would like you to put in the chat box how much you can write off in taxes for charity each year, for charity donations. What percent? I want you to give me a percent. And some of you may actually know the answer. Okay, we're seeing 10%, 100%, 30%. Okay, lots of good guesses. Okay, the answer is 50%. Okay, so if your gross is $100K a year, you can donate $50K a year as a tax write-off. Okay, so without going into a boring talk about economics, every dollar that you can write off lowers your tax bracket, which means that the more money that you make, when you start making the 10K a month that you want, and the 20K and the 30K and the 40K and the 50K and God willing the 100K, you are going to need to either pay the IRS, or you can invest the money. There's different things you can do with your money to pay, but at the end of the day, you can either pay that money to an organization to help them grow, like a charity, or you can give it to the IRS. So, let's just say that you were in the 40% tax bracket and you make $1 million a year. Okay? That means that your tax liability is $400,000 a year. Okay? Now, for simple math, let me just ask you this straight up question. Would you prefer to give $200,000 to the IRS and $200,000 to a cause that you care about, or causes that you care about, or $400,000 to the IRS?
Silly
give
question.
me a one if you would rather. Yeah, give me a one if you'd rather give money to companies that you care about to make changes in people that you care about. All right. So that's what I'm going to suggest that you do. But if you were your own 501c3, you started your own charity, would you be eligible for the $10,000 or $40,000 that we talked about before? Give me a one if you think that you would be. Okay. So give me a two if you think that $10,000, $10,000 to $40,000 a month is enough seed money to start your charity. Cotton, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If if you are running a charity and let's say that it brings in $1 million a year, in donations and things,
sure.
What do you think is a reasonable amount to pay yourself to run it?
I don't know.
What would you think?
I don't know. I really wouldn't take anything. I'm going to tell you what I would do. I would have a charity that helps other charities, and I would use that money to give to other charities so I can open up more doors.
See, that's why I love you, because you're one of those people that gets it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'd be doing. I would be finding I mean, that's exactly why I'm going to set up my 501c is so I can actually give to other charities so they can see that I'm a philanthropist or think that I am because, I make a little bit of money, not as much as one of our stowaways, Mike Long on here, but I make a little bit.
Yeah.
So what I'm
No.
saying, right, Mike?
So
Am I getting called a stowaway?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm being called out for lurking.
Guys, the Chinese pirate is back. Let's get a hashtag Chinese pirate for Mike Long.
Man, I get on here. There's already 2,000 comments. I don't know. Did you read the email I sent out this morning, Cotton?
Yes, I
I was
did.
really looking around trying to find like threads as active as the OMG threads, and because I really think engagement really matters. And I did find a couple, actually linked to them. Like Taylor Swift had some. She had one particular big one from like her recent album coming out, and One Direction when they replaced the one guy who left their group photo or whatever. But then it's funny when I actually look through those threads, there's a lot of a lot of spam links in them actually. Like people posting like sneaky affiliate links and also just people fighting with each actually just fighting with each other over something like Taylor sucks. No, she doesn't. I don't know.
Rihanna's
So
better.
pretty neat
Rihanna's better, Mike.
yeah, I do like that Selena Gomez actually. She's pretty great. But anyways, but the funny thing is, I know we've got Fletch on here, and Fletch is like me. Like one of his favorite law of implication, one of his favorite pillars in the law of implication training is vectors. David's training on vectors, which is in your law of implication training area. And the idea of vectors is you want is very very important. Another way, I know that Stephen will appreciate this, and that you as well, Cotton. A lot of people will appreciate it. Jesus said that good fruit doesn't come from bad trees, bad fruit doesn't come from good trees, and vectors kind of associates that with the idea is that if you got your arrows pointing in the right direction, then and you kind of can declutter your life from things that are distractions or things that are pushing off in the wrong direction. Anyway, my point is we don't really have distracting threads like one of the neat things about, here we are tonight. We have 2,000 comments or 2,000 some odd comments. I don't even know how many. It's like a rounding error, like 100 comments in OMG is like a rounding error. And last week it was like 2,900 comments, but they're all in the same direction. Like all of those comments are pulling in the same direction, and that's exciting to me. Cotton, the idea of the U.S. tour, or maybe it'll turn into the world tour, nobody knows. I saw a couple hashtag tours or hashtag US tours or hashtag whatever it is.
Sure.
In order for it, by the way, just so everybody knows, in order for it to become a world tour, a certain somebody would have to have a passport. Can we get a hashtag passport?
Yeah, Mike. Get one, Mike. Come on.
Let's get a hashtag passport for Cotton. Let's give Cotton some positive energy for getting a passport. I think all the Europeans that are up right now, staying up until like 4 in the morning right now, are just like please, God, please, if you'd love us to go to London or somewhere like that, or I can't promise any of the Aussies or Kiwis. I know that we've got a lot of Aussies and Kiwis that would love to see us. Definitely no promises on that because that is one heck of a flight. But anyways, I love the idea of the tour. I want to kind of point that out because, again, it's vectors pulling in the same direction. And so anyways, that's my little non-answer to Cotton's question. But I would love to see. I would actually love to see. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on right here. I would love to see some peer pressure for Cotton, some positive energy to help him get his passport. So let's get not one single person did a hashtag passport. I thought at least somebody would want. All right, forget it.
Maybe.
The world tour's out. It's gonna have to be We're
You
gonna
know
have
what?
to hitchhike or something.
You know what, Mike? It like happened before you got on. I like got a little excited and I like kind of involved you in something and that you don't know that I've involved you with yet. I like,
I had a sense because
yeah.
I had a webinar with Gregory Ortiz and with
Hmm.
Joe Marfolio.
Right.
We're working on some Wirecast stuff,
Hmm.
which maybe I can show like later on.
Sure.
But anyways, so I took a rest, and then I woke up with this sneaking suspicion
Hmm.
that the con was. I literally, just so you know, I literally did. I was like, I bet if I don't get on, something's going to happen, or something already did happen.
Oh, it did.
So what? Still, what did I?
What did what had happened is, and if you guys are excited about what I got Mike involved in, is I let them know that I was going to do the test run. It's the pre-official first date for the OMG US tour next Friday night in Orlando.
We're going to do it in Orlando. I think that's awesome. Actually,
Next
that's
Friday
actually
night in Orlando.
So we're going to do it at Hard Rock.
We're going to do it at Hard Rock next Friday night. We've got Gregory Ortiz says he's flying in. We got Kurt Inget says he's going to come. I talked to Wyatt. So he's probably going to make it.
I think yeah, is Wyatt Riot coming? That's awesome.
Tim Schmidt, you're going to have me, Mike, Liz. There's going to be a lot of, and I've already got several personal messages where people's driving in all over Florida to come meet us Friday night. So that's what I've involved you in.
What a bunch of losers.
Right.
Hang out with. By the way, Steven, I got to tell you, can I tell you something? Is your sense of humor feeling rich and full, or pretty serious right now?
Always, my friend.
Okay, I do have to say this. If I would be surprised. I feel like this is like a little bit of a cliche thing, and I love what Steven's saying. By the way, I'm in no way belittling it. This is kind of like 100% joke, a little bit of a jokester in my head that runs around. But did anybody have? I'm gonna give a hashtag Save Ferris. Did anybody want to make the charity be like Save Ferris? Does anybody? I don't know if anyone remembers Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but I don't. Am I the only one who thought Save Ferris? I really want to. I definitely don't want to. Don't want to offend anybody, but that was unfortunately that like screamed into my head, and I was like, oh no, if Steven's a former Army Ranger, so if I slip up here, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
See, Steven saw the smoking, so I may be in trouble. Yeah.
I'm sure I'll see you soon.
All right.
It's good. This has been pretty heavy, Mike. This webinar's been pretty heavy from start to finish. So a little bit of humor, I think, is definitely a good injection.
A lot of tears.
Yeah. No, we definitely want to have a lot of positive energy. What's your feeling about the tour there, Stephen? Are you down for it? Are you?
I'm on Expedia right now, looking at flights for next Friday.
Are you thinking about coming out and crashing?
Yeah, I never know. My wife makes our schedule, so I don't know if it's possible. But I tell you what, if there's not something, I'm gonna find out before tonight. I'll jump up there.
Hashtag Orlando if you're in.
I'd love to see you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Anybody who's in, give me a hashtag Orlando. I'm literally very curious who's in.
If you guys are, if you guys are gonna show up,
yeah, if you're gonna show up, maybe like an RSVP or something like that. I gotta get into high gear, so we got like a week away.
Right.
Maybe we need to hit the OMG way a little bit and talk to people about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Mike, I've already released out some locations that we're going to do for sure, but not dates, which will probably be Phoenix, Los Angeles, and Dallas. And then everything else, we don't have any exact dates of that yet. And then other cities, Mike and I are going to have to sit down and talk about what we want to hit.
Fletcher, you on right now?
Mikey Mike, what's up, buddy?
Fletcher, what are your thoughts about the W in Scottsdale?
I think that'd be a good property.
Yeah, the one across from the mall. When I was filming my infomercial, that's where I was staying, and I really like it. Mm.
That's a good spot. Yeah, we got a killer group here in Phoenix, like the metro. It's a huge metro area anyway, but
Yeah.
I think I've met upwards of 20 people here in the
Really?
Phoenix metro area. Yeah, that are OMGers,
That's how
and
awesome.
pretty regularly we get together. Somewhere between 5 and 10 people that we drink some beers and eat some good food and talk about making money on the internet and changing the world and all that kind of thing. So it's going to be a really good turnout in Phoenix if nobody even shows up outside of the valley.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'll tell you what, we're gonna
We'll pull.
just so you all know, we're me and Cotton have been talking about this every day. We talked. David Mills is down with this.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Joe about it. Liz is super big into this.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I can get my wife talked into figuring out what to do with the 3 daughters I have, I'll be traveling. I might have to look at next weekend. I don't know. It wouldn't be bad to get to Florida and see you guys anyway. So I might be in for that anyway too. Yeah.
That'd be unbelievable. So let me see who we got hashtags Orlando's from. I'm just kind of curious. Let me peek in on this.
So we got Gregory Ortiz.
Fletch, do you have, by the way, speaking of station identification, are we going players only on Sunday, or what's the deal?
We are. I'm going to move the time. I'm actually traveling on Sunday, so I will be doing a night session. But, yeah, we're absolutely doing that. We're going to continue with what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks, which is really to make sure nobody is just sitting there and thinking that by learning and not doing, you're going to change your life. It really is about making sure you're in the game and that you are taking responsibility for making things different for yourself. So we're absolutely going to continue that into the foreseeable future. It will be a different time. It will be probably 5 p.m. Pacific, which would be, 6, 7, 8 p.m. Eastern. But, yeah, absolutely going to continue that as far as I can tell in the future.
Gregory Ortiz, are you planning on doing Sunday? I know you're out there because I see you posting. Are you planning on doing Sunday Fun Day? Let me just find out so I can kind of get things like a little bit coordinated, because I'll probably hit up some, at least an email or two to make sure everyone knows the time on that. Ortiz, are you thinking about like maybe doing like a Sunday Fun Day leading into it, or I know you might have Mason, so just let me know, text me or post on the wall or something like that. You know what the deal is with that. Well, I want us to be able to get back into obviously Stephen. I want to let everybody know about Stephen Floyd as we kind of get back to our regularly scheduled program after I stop hijacking Poor Cotton's event here. I got on the phone with Stephen a day or two after the last big blowout. I think it was maybe Thursday or Friday. I don't remember exactly the day, Stephen, that you and I jumped on the phone, but we had a real intense talk. It was exciting, and Stephen is so passionate about what we're doing here. He's so passionate, especially passionate about the last couple weeks and the material that we've been covering, not just because he knows, of course, the financial difference it can make for you. He really that badly, but he's also very, very serious about paying it forward, making a difference. The difference that it's made in his life, giving and Stephen, of course, is an outspoken Christian, as am I, as is Cotton, and there's a lot of them, David Mills, and this is something that's just deeply important to him. Impact, Stephen really wears his heart on his sleeve, but it's not, of course, inside of the walls of OMG, you can hear him speak very candidly, and it's exciting. So, Stephen, I just want to thank you. I came on pretty lighthearted and so forth, and we did some hashtag Save Ferris's, but I would really, really love, and of course, everyone, it's been wonderful having Fletch and Derek and of course Cotton rally around this whole idea. But I'd love, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on. I have no idea how many hundreds, but almost 400 people on right now. I would really, really like to see at least a couple hundred thank you to Stephen. He's really worked hard to make this come together. And also, by the way, congratulations to Stephen. He's been giving a lot, but he's also been getting a lot. Stephen, you just moved in to your dream home.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. It's when you give, you get, and I don't want to be cheesy, guys. I really don't. But I really enjoy every time I get the opportunity to speak with Mike. It's always funny whenever he texts me. He's always like, "Do you have a few moments to speak?" And I'm always like, "Of course I have a few moments to speak with you." Which of course always turns into way more than a few moments. But one of the things that we talked about is it's just it's the paying it forward stuff is just so important. And guys, again, I hope you understand my heart on this. What I say, I'm going to tell you what I firmly believe. I believe that if you're listening to my words right now, whether it's live or whether it's recorded, that it was meant to be. Okay, so whether you believe the same way I do or not, I respect everyone's opinions. But I firmly believe that if you're listening to this message now, you are supposed to be listening to this message now. And if you have felt moved, if anything has happened in you, if you felt something in the pit of your stomach, if you felt energized, or especially if you felt scared to death, then I am talking to you. I am talking to you. Because when you make a real change, if what you're doing doesn't scare the crap out of you, you're not doing the right thing. You're not doing enough of it. And, again, I don't believe in mistakes. I don't believe in coincidences. If you were on the last one, if you're on this one, if you're listening to this recorded, you were meant to hear these words. And if it's moved something in you, then that was supposed to happen too. So don't let that die. If you felt something, if you had an idea, if you got inspired, then water that, and it will multiply for you. And you are in the best place in the world to have that happen for you, because you are surrounded by a group of people who want you to win. All of us here want you to win. Some of us may be further along that road than others, but we're all on our own, individual journeys. And every person that's on this webinar is my master in some way, is better than me, at something, and it's supposed to be that way. That's what we're here for. We're here to help each other and make each other stronger. So again, I just encourage you, take advantage. The group of people that we have gathered here, if you don't know how unique this is, I don't even know what to say. It's just this whole group is so powerful, and the potential of this group is frankly frightening. It's actually frightening.
But in a good way.
In a good way.
And the last thing I'll say before I clear out for Stephen to continue on, and thanks for that, Stephen, and thank you for all the thank yous for Stephen. Obviously, we've had just dozens and dozens of people thanking Stephen. I want to also just bring it back to Cotton. Cotton, of course, created the whole context behind this, the whole platform that Stephen is thankfully making the fullest out of.
Amen.
So if you're looking forward to buying Cotton, by the way, we have a strict no shots rule. No shots for any of the OMG no shots for me, no shots for, well, I can't. Fletch might be able to handle it, but definitely not for me.
Yeah, don't set rules for me, Mike. Come on.
I was going to say Fletch, but then I realized that you could probably handle an infinite number of shots. I don't know, but definitely no shots for me. Definitely no shots for Liz. I'll probably kill her. No shots for Cotton. I don't know. Cotton could probably handle it too. But anyways, but let's buy Cotton a beer. Let's get some stickers going. Let's get some beer stickers going for Cotton. Buy Cotton a beer. Let's get a bunch of stickers going. Because I'll tell you this. Cotton has had this concept. This is not some fly-by-night concept for Cotton. He has been thinking about and planning this OMG tour for right around a year. He's been thinking about it for that long, and it's been something that's really been full in his heart. It's fully his idea. It's funny. I was talking to Liz about it, Cotton, and she was just saying to me, when I told her your idea, she's like, why hasn't anybody ever thought of it? I think she said it like 5 or 6 times in a row. Why hasn't somebody else ever thought of this? It's that good of an idea. How did you think of this, by the way?
Well, as I told you before, when like we had discussed it, so many great things have come from so many masterminds that I've like been at. I was fortunate enough to meet Steven at Becker's mastermind when Becker asked you and I to fly out there for you and I to speak at his mastermind. That's where I ended up meeting Steven, and him and I have become very, very close friends. And that's where I've been able to meet Wyatt, where I was able to meet several people that have really impacted and just altered the face of OMG. I mean, Steven has left a mark on OMG that'll never be able to be the same again. And just things like that, and the people that I've been able to meet. And, and then when Mike, when you and I went out to Vegas, that was another trip that just altered the face of OMG, that like brought on Liz, that like brought on the whole Amazon movement, that like brought on so many things that I was like, why aren't we doing this everywhere? It's just it just made sense. I already knew it would happen. It's just something that, man, just getting out, meeting people. I don't think we know how many people that we touch. And, I like love hearing about the success, the people and how we've touched their lives and being able to answer questions one-on-one, hear about their families, and just get a chance to hear their story. They've like heard ours. I want a chance to hear about theirs. And that's where, Mike, everywhere you've went, Mike, you've come up with, $25,000 income reports, $50,000 income reports. Just people aren't comfortable maybe sharing it in an open forum, but when they're with you one-on-one, they're comfortable letting you know how great they're doing and what you've done for them. And it's just a great time to get out and talk to people and just see everything that OMG's done, and I'm excited about it. So,
Cotton, I was talking to David Mills about this because ever since you and I, we had a real throwdown. I'm trying to find all the beer stickers, by the way. Cotton and I had a real throwdown about this the other night, and ever since then, I've just been real obsessed with this idea. I mean, I always thought it was a great idea to begin with, but at some point, it just went over the edge for me and got like really clear how powerful this was. And so I woke up this morning kind of early, and I called up David, and we had a long talk again about this, and how powerful we think it is, how powerful we think the potential of it is. And let me ask our wonderful energized audience this. I'm very curious about this because this last year at OMG Live Nashville was really exciting. I mean, the training was really excellent, and then the after hours was just as exciting, if not more exciting. It was really, really thrilling, over at Drake's and stuff, and anybody who's there will remember it. And here's what kind of popped into David's head. How many of you just give me if you can imagine this, let me paint a picture for you. You're maybe with us in Phoenix or Scottsdale, that is, or in Orlando or Dallas or Los Angeles or wherever the tour takes us. And you're there at the event. You walk in the door and you see people who you've met on Facebook. Maybe you even see some unfamiliar faces because maybe they've brought along friends and family. Maybe you're bringing along your loved one, somebody with you. You're excited for them to experience it. And then as you walk in, there's let's imagine it's Cotton, and there's Cotton, and he's surrounded by kind of a ring of people, and there's a few more people kind of keep creeping up and listening to what he's saying because Cotton's kind of a little bit on his soapbox, and he's out there, speaking out on something that he's very passionate about, and maybe it's something that kind of got sparked by something that Fletch said or something that you asked him, and he starts spilling the beans on something that he's never gotten a chance to talk about inside of OMG, and next thing you know, there's 20 or 30 people or 40 or 50, even 70 people kind of ringed around him, kind of leaning and listening, and Cotton is speaking out something, telling folks about something that they've never heard of, or it could be Fletch doing the same, or it could be Liz. Heck, it could be you. What if it was you? What if it was somebody else watching you, and you kind of had a breakthrough, and you're sharing a concept, and people are kind of all around you, leaning in, listening. Oh, what is it? What is it? Oh my! I hadn't thought of that. That's an interesting SEO test, or oh my gosh, that's a killer Amazon technique. I had no idea. Give me a hashtag soapbox if you can kind of see that that mental image, if that kind of sparks something for you, if that kind of speaks to you in a way, if that kind of registers, give me a hashtag soapbox. If you can just kind of imagine any of those scenarios, if they kind of hit home for you, because when I was talking to David Mills today, that's what we got to talk about, is this soapbox. I mean, doesn't that make the idea of, for example, meeting us in Orlando, and who knows, I mean, maybe Cotton will just kind of start speaking out, and isn't he all the more likely, if you're kind of imagining Cotton sharing something, that really changes the game for you, that maybe inspires you, or maybe just a little extra secret sauce that's just a little bit different, from time to time, the after credits have known to happen. What a great time for some after credits, some soapbox after credits. So if now that I've said that, now that I've said the soapbox, now I'm genuinely curious. I want to, boy, and we have a lot of hashtag soapboxes here. Now that I've said that, now that we've gotten a bunch of people writing in hashtag soapbox, and if you haven't written hashtag soapbox, I want to see it. I really, this to me is like one of the core driving concepts behind the tour. It is the opportunity to hear someone climb up on their soapbox and talk and spill the beans on something that they figured out, something that they know about, paying it forward, sharing. Could be Stephen Floyd, could be Derek Wasiak, could be, who knows who's going to be, could be you. And now that I've said that, now I want to find out who's down for Orlando. Give me now that I've said that, now that I've spilled the beans on the soapbox, now give me a hashtag RSVP. Everybody who's planning on joining us in Orlando on Friday, I want a hashtag RSVP. Now that I've talked about the soapbox, and now that you know what's possible with me, because I'll tell you this, Cotton was talking about it. Maybe I'll tell them about the Black Mirror technique. Maybe who knows what'll kind of come of it.
No,
So
I've already said that, Mike.
I've
already said that at every tour I'm going to drop one bomb, every place for about 5 or 10 minutes.
You're gonna climb on the soapbox and speak out.
Yeah, to drop a bomb at every location that I've never talked about before.
So, yeah. I'll do one more hashtag, but I am kind of curious. I want to see if we can shake at least a few people loose to come out and join us in Orlando. I know it's short notice, but let's find out who. Let me take a look. I'm going to read off everybody who's given me an RSVP. So let's see who we got. Joanne, it's great. Gregory, Pip, it would be great to see Pip again. Daniel and Peter. Oh, Peter says no visa. Okay, all right, Peter. We'll get to work on that. Mario, and let's see. That's it. All right. We've got a few RSVPs. That's a good start. I'm hoping for more. Tell you what.
This is the biggest bomb, though, Mike. I just got a text. Joe Marfolio is buying his flight right now.
What? No, he's not.
Yes, he is. No, I'm not. He just sent a text saying, I am looking at flights right now.
What? Street smart.
If Joe's in, I'm going to be there too. I'll just put that in.
Hold on. I got to see if Joe's still on so we can bring him on. Hold on. Let me look at
now I'm going to spill the beans. I got one more. I've got one more bomb to drop. And Stephen, I appreciate you got the patience of Job, because I came on here and completely hijacked this whole thing. I'm guilty of sin. But I want to give one more hashtag. Well, y'all know there's always one more back there somewhere, but let's do a hashtag party on a hill. Let's get a hashtag party on a hill. I'd love to see about 400 hashtag party on a hill. OMG is a party on a hill. It's a place where friends come together in Providence. Cotton, we went to that Vegas event, and Richard Branson was speaking at it, and it's funny because Liz was telling me yesterday that at that whole event, she it just didn't turn out that she got much out of it. And a lot of that's because she is a world master at what she does, and it was mostly focused on Amazon, and she pretty much already knew what people were saying or already knew wasn't true or whatever. But the one thing that she said that she learned one thing and one thing only the entire whatever was 5-day weekend. One thing that she learned, not that there wasn't good information, but just for her there was nothing new. But the one thing that she learned, and it actually was from Richard Branson, which I thought was funny, because I personally think that if David Mills pointed this out, so I'm a little bit stealing his thunder, but he said that if Richard Branson had been in one room and Liz had been in the other room, then pretty much everyone would have been in Liz's room. There would have been about 100 people or 10 people in the room with Richard Branson. Not because he's not interesting, but because Liz is so interesting. Of course, if it were Cotton, it would be the same thing. But what Liz said is that the one thing that Branson said that she thought was brilliant was he said, if you want to make a lot of money, go out and party. He did. He said that, and he was dead serious. Go out, party, meet people, talk to them, have fun, open up inside, open up your heart. I'm putting it probably in a better way. But that's what she said. That one phrase really opened her up, and she thought it was awesome. And I'll tell you what, in Vegas, it was me and Cotton and Liz and some other OMGers that were there that really were, unwinding and letting it loose. So I would love to see just hundreds of Party on a Hill. And if you want to sneak in any more hashtag RSVPs, because OMG is a party on a hill. We're kind of changing it up a little bit. OMG is a party on a hill, and I'm really hoping that we can shake loose just a few more people to come out to Hard Rock. It's going to be on Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. OMG is a party on a hill, a place where, of course, friends come together in Providence, and you're welcome to bring your friends and family and anybody who you want to come out to meet us. And you never know, you might get Cotton on a soapbox. You might get Fletch. Could be Steven. Could be Joe Marfolio. Could be Liz. Maybe even me. Who knows what beans will get spilled. So
hey, like Mike,
that's it, guys.
Rabbing a lot of questions. Where to stay? Hard Rock Orlando, or Hard Rock Universal Studios.
Yeah, and if you can't afford Hard Rock, then there's a lot of hotels in the in that area. But we'll be staying. We've already booked our tickets for our hotels for Hard Rock. By the way, Mandy Payne is going to be there, and I think so Mandy Payne is like one of the top reviewers. Right. She's like the number 8 reviewer on all of Amazon. She's going to be there. I believe that Hong Kong Larry is going to be there.
Joe Marfolio, are you going to be there?
Yeah, I haven't talked to my wife yet, but
poor Joe.
But yeah, man. I don't know. Fletch threw that down that if I go, he's going to go. So I think I'm going to have to go.
Fletch already said that.
Let's get some peer pressure.
Fletch already said that he's going to hijack a chopper and just find a way to get it.
I already jumped in front of you, man. I said if you're there, I'm going to be there. I may drag. Who knows? My wife. Maybe I'll drag my team there.
Awesome.
I'm not sure.
I'd love to see your guys' families. Let's get some hashtag peer pressure here.
Wow.
What's going on? Let's get some hashtag peer pressure.
Funny,
hopefully we get way to come out. Just like a kickoff pre-launch event.
I know I'm live.
I think this is the best idea ever.
Yeah.
Man, because I missed the 2 OMG lives because I was traveling around the world, but this idea Cotton is just fantastic, man. To actually meet up with people that are doing what we're doing and to be able to see people face to face. I mean, I haven't even met no one. Mike, Cotton, not even Fletch. I've been talking to him for like, I don't know, it feels like forever. I've never seen him.
I've been online dating Joe for 6 months and I've never met him.
I know. I talk to Cotton like every day.
Ladies and gents, this is a big deal to me. I would really love to see some peer pressure, and I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this right now. The best kind of peer pressure there is a hashtag RSVP. That is the best kind of peer pressure that you can put on. Be the change you want to see. Could be Joe, could be Fletch, could be Steven. We're praying for all of them. No matter what, in the whole, you've got I'm going to be there, Cotton's going to be there, Liz is going to be there. I know that Mandy Payne's going to be there. I know that Gregory Ortiz is going to be there. Just forget about it. This is going to be amazing. Amazing. We would love, love, love to see you. OMG is a party on a hill. All right. Oh, no. Gregory Ortiz just sent me a text message. He said, I'm going beyond peer pressure. I'm looking up flights for me and him so we can fly together. Hashtag peer pressure. That is some peer pressure, Gregory Ortiz. That is some peer pressure.
Yeah.
That's
And Gregory keeps asking me, the Hard Rock is a hotel, Gregory. It's a hotel.
yeah, it's a hotel. It's and for those of you with families, it's right there where the big brand new Harry Potter expansion theme. Well, they always had the, well, not always, but for the last few years they've had Harry Potter, but now they've added whatever it is, like Hog's Alley or Dungleberry. I don't know what the name of it. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, there's the place in London where Harry Potter is. I don't remember the name of it. Oh wait. Oh shoot. I just made Gregory Ortiz the presenter. I meant to make him a panelist. Sorry about that, Gregory. Let me make him a organizer, and I'll make Stephen Floyd panelist or the presenter. Sorry about that. Gregory, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Man, you're mounting the peer pressure. You're trying to get Street Smart Joanne Fletch out there by buying a ticket of your own.
I'm on Expedia right now. I'm looking up flights for Joe and myself since we can fly out the same airport.
Let's get some hashtag. Man, I'm really hoping for some hashtag RSVPs. You know,
Yeah.
Piling on the pressure here.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Hey, Mike, just to let you know, we don't want to go too long. I know that Steven has his family that he needs to get to.
Okay, well, I'm out, but
Cool.
or I'll just go quiet now. But I appreciate you guys letting me hijack this there for a quick 45 minutes. No. All right. Thanks again much, Steve, for bearing with that.
Sure.
Always good to hear from you, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mike. Steven,
God bless
is there anything else that you wanted to go over with briefly before we let you go? We've been on here for 3 hours and 20 minutes so far. So.
Yeah, I mean, so kind of where we segued off was that what I wanted you guys to understand, if you are going to go ahead and start your own 501c3, that you can then actually donate to your own charity from your other business is kind of where I was going with that, guys. So, and I'm not talking about doing anything that's immoral or unethical or, of course, illegal. If you play games with the IRS, you will go to prison. Okay, but what I wanted to show you was if you wanted to go ahead and invest in setting up your own charity, it costs a little less than $1,000. Okay, you can then start to grow that business with the $10,000 to $40,000 that Google is going to give you. Okay, and then if you wanted to, you could then choose to pay yourself a salary for that. Okay, you could choose to pay yourself a salary to run that business. So, you know, there's a lot of you here who are wanting to get to $10,000 a month. That's kind of a big goal. If you were to pay yourself 5 to 10%, no more than 5 to 10% of what the organization brings in, you're typically not going to get a whole lot of slack from anybody for it. Now, before anybody starts blowing up the chat with it, I've been doing this for probably longer than anyone on this webinar. I know what's kind of acceptable and kind of what's not acceptable. Okay, so what I'm telling you is that you could actually take this and turn it into your new profession. Not telling you to quit SEO, but what I'm telling you is you could actually start a charity. You could use Google's money to get it profitable, and then you could actually pay yourself a reasonable, very reasonable salary to run that charity. And I'm, of course, talking about everything completely legit. When you run a 501c3, your tax records will be forensically looked at. So if anyone's on this webinar thinking, oh boy, I'm just going to throw a bunch of money into this charity and, I'm going to get over it. That's not what I'm talking about. If you're thinking that way, you're one of the people who probably will end up in prison if you're in the U.S. I don't know about other places, okay? But if you wanted to set up a legitimate charity, then what you could do is, you would then be able to donate a decent amount to your charity, and then that money, instead of paying it to the IRS, you could be paying to causes that you care about, including your charity. So what I'm saying is, and again, not to, make this a really much longer webinar, but, when you're in the 40% tax bracket, and you're making, your payments to the IRS are going to be really huge. This is one of those ways that you can significantly minimize that tax liability to yourself, okay? And there's lots of rules and regulations and things that you need to be aware of, okay? And again, for the last time, I want to be crystal clear with this. I'm talking about starting a real charity and using the funds to do real things to help real people. I'm not talking about any kind of, scam or anything like that, okay? But I'll tell you, the hardest part about getting this set up, really, this one of these packages here that you're looking at on my screen is really going to do the hard part for you, okay? And again, not to go into the specifics, but I'll tell you, I'll give you one hint to anybody who's considering doing this. One of the things that you'll have to do when you file for this is you're going to have to describe the specific type of thing that you're going to do with this charity. And one of the things that you're going to want to do is your mission needs to be very broad, because then it's going to allow you to be very flexible. For example, the charity that my wife and I run, the specific mission basically says to ease human suffering, okay? So I can't use that charity to support animals necessarily, unless they were animals who were helping to ease human suffering. So, when you're setting this up and you have to fill out the section that says, what is your charity going to be about? What's it going to do? Who are you going to support? Make it something that's broad enough to where if you want to change your mind, or for example, I also support veterans charities. In addition to the human trafficking, that 501c3 also does some things with veterans. But it's able to do that because I set it up to be flexible. Okay, so again, hopefully a very short recap of all this. So if you want to support other charities, we've given you some ways to use this as a technique, as a foot in the door, to actually get some clients or make some money for you, make some very powerful connections. And if you are moved by a cause, if there's something that's stirring in your heart, there's something that you've been thinking about, there's something that, you're feeling moved, then, your barrier to entry here, again, really, you don't have to pay, this is $600. You don't have to pay that. The filing fees are a little less than $400 the last time I checked. So you can actually do all this paperwork yourself, and it would cost a little less than $400, okay? And so, if you have the money, I would suggest you do this. But, this is going to take usually around 6 weeks to 12 weeks to activate, just so you guys know, okay, to get this approved, all right? And then it takes, like I mentioned earlier, the Google Grants team has an internal goal of 30 days. That's the goal that they've set as an organization or as a business unit, that all applications that are submitted will be, completely approved or not approved, or, completely evaluated within 30 days, okay? So, this isn't something that you're going to start making money with like tomorrow, okay? But again, this is long term. These are the kind of seeds that you can lay now that will, pay you dividends, for the rest of your life. So I think I covered everything, Cotton.
Sounds good. I'd like to know that we've ran the webinar over late for you. Apologize for that, and for everyone for that. Fact is, but if you don't have anything else to go over, I really have nothing else to go over either. So guess that kind of wraps everything up.
I'm running a little bit late for church, but
Sure,
that's okay.
sure.
My wife will not yell at me too much.
Sure.
But thank you everyone for for having me on. I hope, again, if you've been moved by something that we've said in these last two webinars, if you felt something or been moved by something, do it. Do something with it.
Absolutely, guys.
Don't just sit on it.
Absolutely.
Do something.
Guys, we're just going to wrap it up quick. It's been 3 hours and 20 minutes. Even Fletch texted me, said he had to go quickly. So not going to do any last words. You can catch the replay in a couple days. We'll see you next week where we got an incredible.
Cotton, one quick thing.
Yeah.
Did we let people know about Joe's office hours tomorrow?
We have not, but we can let everyone know that Joe's office hours is tomorrow. Fletch's will be on Sunday. So be sure and sign up for that in your Project Breakthrough or Project J members area. So
All right,
that
guys.
covers all that.
So yeah, so we'll see you in Joe's office hours. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right. See you guys later.
See you in Orlando.
Bye.